Welcome to a Highlander field hit here in beautiful Patton. I am Ed DiMartino. Welcome to the Rams Football Network. I do not have the coach with me tonight. I have a very special guest. We still have our Emmy Award-winning sideline reporter in PJ McGowan, but with us tonight, replacing the coach Fred Yanni, who cannot be with us tonight, we have the local legend, Jim Penna. So, Jim,
you're being a little overly generous there, but hats off to Fred Yanni, who's not doing the. I don't think Fred will be at the away game, so I'm happily to fill in and go from there. And a good night to do it. And this new Highlander field, of course, no fans here tonight, although a scattering of some supporters, I think, have made their way in. But our first game at this facility, and I got to tell you, Cambria Heights has done right by their students and their student athletes. It's a good construction. It's a good-looking facility, and it should be a good place to play a football game.
Absolutely. Weather seems like it's going to be perfect, Jim. Great night for football. Sun's coming out. We caught a little rain on the way here. It's a little bit chilly, but actually I thought we can get out of the car. Very comfortable temps right now. We'll see how much they dip as the game goes on, and we will check with PJ before the game. So tonight we have a matchup of the 2-1 Richland Rams. And I believe Cambria Heights
Cambria also 2-1.
is 2-1, coming off a big win last week against Penn Cambria. They beat Penn Cambria 21-0. They shut down the leading passer in the Laurel Highlands, and Garrett Harold. So they did a fine job there. So I'm going to let you get and set up this game, as we should have a dandy matchup here tonight.
Sure, a little bit of clash of styles, really, when you think about it. Richland, I think, still trying to find their way on how exactly they run this offense without a superstar like Caleb Burke out there. And I think the recipe they found is they've got a lot of weapons, maybe not yet the caliber of Caleb because a lot of them are younger, but they've got a lot of guys that can do a lot of damage from a lot of different areas. We've talked about it before. A lot of them are younger. They seem game ready, and it's time to distribute the ball. And I think that's what started to happen in that Bishop McCourt game. And so Kellen Stahl, who's the leader of this team at quarterback, both a powerful runner and a guy that does a lot of damage with his legs, has got some weapons at his disposal, both behind him, the handoff, and flaring the ball out. We'll talk a little bit more about the Rams as the game goes on. But right now, to let you know what you're going to see out of the Highlanders of Cambria Heights, you have there's no other way to describe it, at least in my mind. They have their offense, they have a wrinkle, and then they have trick plays. And their offense is the Haluska boy. Ray Haluska has 76 carries out of about 140 offensive plays. Literally 50% of the offensive plays go into the hands of the Haluska boy in the carries. They are 3 yards in a cloud of dust, or 3 yards in a cloud of whatever that little black stuff is that pops up on an artificial turf that I have to wash off my kids' uniform, that makes their way all through the house whenever they come back from a game. The bulk of the game will go through him. Now, whenever they have a wrinkle, Jared Fox is the next leading ball carrier in 27 carries. And again, let me say that again. Haluska with 76 carries and Jared Fox with 27. That's the wrinkle. The trick play, you and I might call those a pass. They don't do a whole lot of it out here. I think whenever they go to do it, they try to score big on it. And that's because defenses have to cheat up to try to defend against this heavy push. They're going to get in, they're going to scrum. It's going to look a lot like a rugby game for them. They're going to get in, they're going to hand off that belly to Haluska, or maybe pitch it out to Jared Fox. And then they're just going to put their line versus our line and hope that because they've got the snap count that they can get the push and the forward momentum of it and gain 4 or 5 yards at a time. One other thing you'll find, I think, especially when they get near midfield, Cambria Heights is going to be constantly in 4-down territory on offense. I think when you run this kind of offense, if you're getting 3.5 yards a carry, you're going to go ahead and try to convert those 4th downs if you're under 4 or 5 yards, rather than punt it away. Although the defense, as you said last week, certainly stepped up. So that's going to be one of the challenges for Richland, to contain that run on the 1st and 2nd down, to make it a 3rd down and long situation for them as they mow through things. Ryan Bear is the quarterback. 23 pass attempts on the year. He's completed 10. Their longest was a 48-yard touchdown. Yes. So I do think whenever they go to throw it, you're not going to see a lot of
as much time as they can, and hope that they wear Richland down and get it into the end zone. And there will be a trick play or two, like you said, more passing. They only have two touchdowns in the air the whole year. Most of them have been on the ground. I think 7 touchdowns on the ground, 6 of them to Haluska.
Well, and part of that is probably because they've had their way. They've been able to run the ball and do what they want to do on offense. Now, certainly they can't come in tonight thinking that it's going to have their way on every down and possession against the size of the Richland defensive line. So the presumption would be they're going to try to do the thing. I got to imagine their coach has set up a plan B and how they're going to throw it. That'll be one of the interesting wrinkles for Cambria Heights. Their first real opportunity to have to air the ball out a little bit more than they have. Richland, on the other hand, it's going to be especially important for them, just like in those Westmont games, to not be sloppy on offense, to not get ticky-tacky penalties, offsides, or holding penalties that kind of kill drives, and certainly drop balls in the open field whenever we do throw the ball. So Richland's got to take good care of the pig and move things around and do what they do, and hope their athletes on the outside can take advantage of this. I think one of the things early on, both teams will want to be the team that has the early lead. That'll be the key for both. If either team gets up by 2 scores, Richland's going to have to really work hard to try to stop that rushing attack down by 2 scores. And Cambria Heights offensively is not going to have a whole lot of time the way they like to do things to make up all that ground. So any early break, special teams touchdown, interception, or a defensive score of any kind can kind of really tilt the field for whichever team has the advantage on that one.
Yeah, I think the most, as we switched a little bit to the more defensive side of the ball, I was looking at some of the stats just real quick. But Cambria Heights comes in with 13 sacks on the year compared to Richland's 2. However, we have to temper that with the fact we really haven't seen a big passing team yet, whereas a team like Penn Cambria, who Cambria Heights faced last week, bulk of their sacks came last week against Penn Cambria. So we have not seen that type of offense. We're not going to see it again tonight. So don't let the sacks mislead you. But keep in mind, Cambria Heights did sack Garrett Harold a bunch of times last week. Well,
and with all due respect to the Garrett Harold, Kellen Stahl's a different kind of quarterback. Yep. I'm not laying claim that he's got an arm that's much more special than anybody else, but he's a good runner, and he's a powerful runner. Nimble feet as he's making his way through the line, but just packs such punch from the get-go. There's a old story about the former heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey, how to show off to the reporters he once knocked out a bull with a 6-inch punch. And that's sort of how Kellen Stahl runs. If he even from a dead standstill, his first step has such power that it's difficult to stop him in his tracks unless you get a hold of those ankles right away and prevent him from loading into you. So that'll be the interesting part of that. The one loss that Richland did have against Bedford, you're right, that is not a passing team. We had some difficulty stopping their run, and that is, of course, one of the better teams in Lower Highlands Conference traditionally. And Cambria Heights, with their new stadium and their new look and what they're trying to do in offense, trying to establish themselves that way. The Richland Rams making their way on the field right now, you can tell, behind the Richland banner, and, of course, the red, white, and blue, and that pancake banner that goes out there as the linemen try to make their way. I really think, what we'll be doing up front with our defensive line, that'll be the key of the game, whether Cambria Heights can get that initial push or whether it's a log jam right away for the Rams at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely agree. I'm going to head down to PJ McGowan. Hopefully PJ can hear us. We have a new setup for PJ tonight. We've had to use the cell phone every game just so he can hear us. Tonight, Jared hooked him up with a nice system. So, PJ, hope you can hear us tonight. Want to get conditions on the field. How's the weather out there right now?
It's great. Ed, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you perfect, bud.
All right, you guys are a little garbly, but nowhere near the way it was the past week. So, thanks, Jared. Field temperatures it's great football weather. It's probably mid-40s, maybe upper 40s right now, I would guess. Enough that I have to have a jacket on and some extra clothing. I'm in the herd of the Richland Rams coming through right now. But, the field's beautiful. I mean, this is one of the nicer turf fields I've seen in the past few years, probably at the level of Wimbers right now. Let's see the lighting. I'm interested to see the new LED lighting here, how it performs under total darkness. I'm hoping there's no shadows, no spots. That was a problem that we always faced in their field downtown Patton and also down at Chestnut Ridge. So field conditions are great. The Rams look like they're ready to go. One little bit of information, the Rams will be kicking off the beginning of the first quarter. It's 6:30. Cambria Heights did the coin toss with the Richland captains. They did win, and they elected to receive.
Okay, so there you go. So Cambria Heights wants to get the ball and have it in their hands right off the bat, which is not a bad play. As they want to set the tempo in this game, they're hoping to get off to a quick start, so they're taking the ball to begin the game.
And PJ said we were you guys were a little garbly last week, so the invention of the word garbly tonight. That's nice.
I don't know if he can spell the word garbly, but
it's his. He can spell it. He came up with it. He can spell it any way.
And we have to say, Ram Nation has traveled very, very well. There's a bunch of cars to our right on the open end of the stadium, a bunch of trees. It's fantastic to see a bunch of Richland people out there. So hopefully they're listening out there. If you do at some point get and honk your horns and Richland scores a touchdown, I'd like to hear those horns a blaring. So the boys can hear you out there. And so welcome everybody watching on YouTube as well. And thanks to Romansburg Media. We'll get to some more sponsors in just a minute. But Richland will go ahead and kick off. And back deep here for the Highlanders, trying to catch their numbers real quick.
17 and 6 are who's back deep for the Highlanders.
All right, so we have number 17, Jared Fox, and number 6, Tanner Tribus.
And we mentioned Fox is one of the principal ball carriers, as principal as it can be if you're not named Haluska on this team. It looks like Rager will be kicking off for the Rams. And as you can tell, they'll be going left to right. So let's see how Richland does on their road game against the Highlanders.
All right, here we go. Connor Rager puts the ball in the air. A high kick fielded at about the 12-yard line, brought to the 15, the 20, over to the 25. And the tackle is made there just shy of the 40-yard line.
Graydon Lewis first contact for the Rams, coming in right side. Did a good job of squaring up and wrapping up some legs. He had plenty of help coming in on that, though, and that's going to be the key for the Rams as well. Somebody's got to stop that initial momentum, and then the rest of the group has got to pile in. So Rams show up looking bare, and, boy, they all look like they're not social distance at all. Between this offense and the Bear defense, they're all pretty close out there right now.
All right, ball at the 34-yard line where the Highlanders will take over to start the game. It is Ryan Bearer who is under center. Jared Fox will go in motion. There'll be a pitch to Fox on the right side. Fox will take it, but will barely get it, maybe a yard or two, Jim, as he crosses just the 35, maybe. A step, and that would have been a big play there, Jim, as he was open. It was just a quick drop and a quick throw right over the middle and just a little bit long.
Well, as much as you want to hit that pass early on if you're Cambria Heights, the fact that you're willing to show it early in the game is an important factor, too. They're going to hook that back, some of that pursuit off of the defensive line for the Rams. Now, our first really big play of the game, 3rd down and 8 for Cambria Heights. We said they're going to be prone to go for it on 4th down. My guess here is they go back to the running game, see if they can pick up 4 or 5, and then decide if they're going to go for it on 4th.
All right. Bear under center again. Bear will drop back to throw again. Bear has to roll out to his right. There's a big rush by the Rams, and that's a sack. And trying to catch number, I think that was Connor Rager, number 50.
I think the hand that reached up from below him was Bubba J. I think that was number 78. Had gone by him and managed to reach up from the ground and get a paw on that shirt. Now, with the big loss on the play all the way back to about the 19 or 18-yard line, Cambria Heights is going to have to punt it away. So a good start for the Ram defense here, assuming this punt goes off without a hitch.
All right, back deep for the Rams will be Kellen Stahl. And there's the punt. It's a good high punt, short, as it'll land right at about the 45-yard line. And bounce just inside the 40. Yeah, spotted at about the 38-yard line. So the Rams will take over their first possession. We have 10:16 remaining here in the first quarter. No score.
That was, I tell you, that's the dangerous kind of punt. Very high. We're talking about whether we can adjust to these lightings. It's the first time our guys have seen these LED low-profile lightings. Certainly sure to Cullen Stahl, but you wonder if anybody's going back making a block on the play if they don't see that the ball is short. But the team was yelling out poison and knew to let the ball roll.
All right, so Kellen Stahl will be into the gun. It will be Graydon Lewis, who will be the side card to the right. And Stahl, I think it was a missed handoff. Ball is on the ground. I think Richland got it back. So a little mistake there by the Rams, but able to get away with it. And I think actually you may even pick up a yard
They did pick up a yard on it. You don't want to start out with something like that, but a negative turns into at least a short positive on that. And those are the kind of little things that the Rams are going to have to avoid through the course of the evening. Cannot afford to have little mistakes like that crop up on them and eat into their offense.
All right, Evan McCracken now will check into the game as the running back. He'll set himself to Stahl's right. We have a bunch to the right of receivers and to the left.
Yeah, twin split both ways.
So
that's McCracken
it'll
up
be
the middle.
McCracken up the middle. He's got the 50. And McCracken will take it close to the 45-yard line into Cambria Heights territory. Nice run by the freshman, Evan McCracken, who broke a long one last week, Jim. And he's got a lot of speed, this Evan McCracken.
Well, I'll tell you, that one was looking pretty good, too. He almost come through. Richland doing hurry up here, so big 12-yard gain for McCracken as the Rams go back at it.
All right, Stahl. McCracken again as he'll go over the left guard and take it to close to the, looks like the 35-yard line or so. Will be close to another first down. Just a little short, about a yard short. Bring up 2nd and 1.
Well, I don't want to say we weren't prepared for this. We knew that Evan McCracken was going to get some carries. But right now, Cambria Heights is the one that's got to scramble to figure out how they're going to start to stop the Rams' offensive line. 2 carries, 18 yards right now.
All right, Stahl. In the gun. Stahl, drop back to pass. Stahl looks to his right. And he's got a man on the sideline. That is Griffin LaRue, who gets it to just outside the 10-yard line. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds. They're going to mark him out at the 15. So stepped out of bounds about the 15, but a nice pass out to Griffin LaRue, able to get to the right sideline. And
but
it's a first down, Richland.
The nice part about that, primarily we've been throwing LaRue deep in the first couple of games.
Yep.
Seeing him running an open field laterally 8 or 9 yards down the field at that good speed and some separation without forcing Kellen to wait longer times and throw that deeper ball. Let LaRue loose in the middle of the field. That's nice.
All right, so 1st and 10 from the Cambria Heights 15-yard line. Graydon Lewis now will check in at the running back position. And it will be, that is, Graydon Lewis into the end zone for a touchdown. So Lewis off the right side, and he gets the first Richland Ram touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got a flag on the play. They're going to call hold. A fortuitous break for the Highlanders. I'll tell you, what I was going to say was that Lewis wasn't really challenged once he got through the line. He came through defensive with the ball and realized he had no one around him. Once he cut right, it was wide open from there. But again, in this first drive, now they overcame the first one, the muff snap. They recovered the ball. Now they have 1st and 10, and they commit a hold. So the Rams not necessarily coming out clean. They've still moved the ball well at this point.
All right, so puts 1st and 20. Ball now spotted on the 25-yard line at Cambria Heights. 8:33 remaining in the first quarter, no score. Graydon Lewis will stay in the game and set himself to Stahl's left. Jordan Ford will go in motion to the left, and Stahl will hand off to Lewis again. It goes over that same right side. He's got the 10-yard line, and he gets to about the 7-yard line before he's brought down. So a nice hard run by Graydon Lewis.
If you're right about the 7, they should be about a yard and a half short of the first down. So it's definitely a good run. And again, the line of scrimmage, untouched at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker's trying to catch him, and Graydon Lewis is a quick back.
Good job by the Rams front here as they're opening up a nice hole. Graydon Lewis able to find it. Evan McCracken similar on the early part of this drive. So 2nd and 3, it looks like, ball at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, a little shorter than what we had. He might have stepped out of bounds or been forced out of bounds before he actually got tackled on the play. Officials are stopping the action right now.
Yeah, we have an official timeout. The ball is spotted at the 7-yard line. And it should...
They're swapping out balls.
All right, so there you go.
You always wonder what they're thinking when something like that goes on. The ball was already in play. It's
Yeah.
not raining. Why swapping that out?
Yeah, the ball is at the 7-yard line. The first down stick should be, it looks like, at about the 6-yard line. It should only be about a 2nd and 1. So Stahl, he'll keep it himself as he goes up the middle, and Stahl into the end zone for the Richland Ram touchdown. So Richland able to overcome the hold and find pay dirt from about 7 yards out. Kellen Stahl with the keeper.
Well, I tell you, the defensive back for Cambria Heights made a business decision there. Stahl was an inch or two away from the goal line, and the forward momentum, he was not going to stop him on that. And once he got through the original line, I was just about to say we've yet to see Kellen run the ball. They've had such success with Evan McCracken and Graydon Lewis. So we'll go for the 2 points here.
All right, Evan McCracken will be the running back to Stahl's right. And Stahl will fake the pitch as he brings it back to Evan McCracken, but they will stop him short. So 2-point conversion fails, but the Rams are up 6-0 with 7:39 remaining in the first quarter. And P.J. McGowan, what an impressive first drive by the Richland Rams.
Oh, without a doubt, Ed, Jim. I mean, 7 minutes and 30 seconds left on a clock here in the first quarter. Richland 4 and outs the Highlanders and proceeds to march the ball right down the field with vigor. So, yeah, big things tonight expected from Richland. Our lines are here to play. You know, if you noticed in the past few games, even with McCourt in the first drive or two, it took our line 8 to 10 snaps to warm up and to find their place. But it looks like they're firing on key right away tonight.
A little surprised, Jim. They didn't attempt the extra point. They went for the 2-point conversion early in the game. So they go up 6-0. Autumn Fauci's had a pretty good year so far. I think they're 9 of 11 on point after attempts. But opting there to go for the 2-point conversion just falls short.
Well, I think that's a little bit of the gift of the first possession. Bailey knows he's going to get the ball to start the second half. His defense came out and stopped Cambria Heights. So to get that ball, get a clean stop, get the ball and go down and get a score, it's an opportunity to put added pressure on Cambria Heights. So right now Heights is going to get the ball. It's as if you're starting the game now and it's 7 minutes shorter and somebody's giving you a 6-point lead. So in that situation, probably well worth it. Plus, as well as we run the ball, I will say this, and I didn't get the number of the defensive lineman. Somebody cropped up and got a hold of Evan McCracken's shirt that slowed him down enough that help could arrive. Otherwise, he was going in. So a good defensive play from a guy that had been blocked to the ground. Still managed to hustle in on the play and get a hand up, at least to hold on to enough of McCracken to slow him down. So Rager again back to kick off for the Rams.
And it will be it would be Tanner Tribus and Jared Fox back deep for the Highlanders. And Connor Rager puts this one in the air, caught by Tribus as he comes over the 25-yard line, close to the 30 before he's brought down. Ryan McGowan in on the tackle.
That was a good, solid open field tackle by Ryan. He squared up, got his arms around the waist, then dragged the guy down. And a good solo spot there, right when he met up with the guy. So they're going to mark it right at the 30-yard line. Remarkably consistent how often referees in Western Pennsylvania seem to put the ball on an even yard line on a punt or a kickoff return whenever it's anywhere close. We like easy math, I think.
Yeah, as PJ pointed out, we're not very good at math up here, so it's kind of nice to have that happen for us. All right, so Ryan Bearer.
I'm glad you set up there, Ed, because I'm perfect at math down here.
Right, PJ's down there doing.
They get the tee off the field. So Cambria Heights will come out for their second possession of the game. They went 3 and out on the first possession.
And I got to give a little shout out to Caleb Burke. He texted me once or twice there in pregame, and it's sad to see him not on the field this year with us. It's great to hear from him, and he still has that with smart sort of attitude and comments. So.
Well, that was kind. Yeah.
We don't have to be. I don't think we're on a closed network here, but. So hello to Caleb. Hope you're doing great up there. We miss you, buddy.
Same here, Caleb. Miss you on the field, bud.
All right, so Heights had a pass attempt in their first possession and a one that ended in a sack as well. I think we're going to go back to the straight run, see if they can get any fruit out of that.
Bear will hand it off, and ball will come across the 31 to about the 32-yard line. I believe that was Haluska on the carry.
You can pretty much guarantee that if it's going between the tackles and it's not the quarterback, it's going to be Haluska carrying the ball on that. Again, a short gain on it for them. And you're going to watch that defensive line and see if they're getting any sort of push out.
Aiden Marshall will check out of the game now. Barrow will go back under center. Nice pack tight for Cambria Heights. And there'll be a handoff to Haluska as he takes it over the 35-yard line. And picks up about 4 yards on the play.
Well, that's what you're going to see. Now, third down and about 4, and we mentioned this. They very much a 4-down team, so I would not be surprised to see them run it here and run it again on 4th down if they get this thing down a short distance. Would not look for a pass here. They don't want any negative play. So penetration right now for the Richland Ram defensive line will be the key.
Ryan Bear at the zone 36-yard line, 3rd and 4. It is Fox in motion. It's a handoff to the right side. It's going to be right at the 40-yard line. This should be a first down for Cambria Heights as Haluska picks up the first down. No, they're just going to mark it just short, Jim. They knows that the football is not quite touching the 40-yard line.
Well, they marked it short and they waved the flags. So I don't know whether you call that a compromise. In fairness, I do think that mark was off by easily a length of the football. So I do think it was a clean Cambria Heights first down. I just don't think they put the football down in the right place.
And the officials will talk this over. We're at 6:09 remaining here in the first quarter. 6-0 your score from a very beautiful Highlander field.
We're at 6:09 in the first quarter, and we've had our third officials timeout.
It could be a new record.
They're trying to sort it out.
All right, looks like we're set to play again. So 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. They're at the Richland at their own 40-yard line.
I would think you're going to see more of Haluska at this point until the Rams figure out a way to stop him for nothing.
All right, so Bearer back under center. And Bearer will drop back to throw again, looking to the left side. Has a man in Jared Fox. He drops the pass just off the fingertips. Kellen Stahl in coverage. Another nice pass by Ryan Bearer just off the fingertips of Jared Fox.
I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised by that. And not that they shouldn't go to it every so often. You do want to spread that field out. But you just converted doing it the way that you do it. You didn't have to do it on 4th down. If you're Cambria Heights, I think you stick with Haluska, you stick with Fox, and you try to get yourself to 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1 and see what happens from there. Now they've got one less down to try to make this work.
All right, 2nd and 10. Bearer under center again. Bearer will hand off again over the left side. Ball taken to about the, looks like the 42-yard line, about a 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up 3rd and 8. So giving credit to Bryce Batchy for the tackle, number 63.
He did, even with that. Now Bryce, they hand off the ball so close to the line of scrimmage. You get a hold of the guy, but it's hard to tee off that point to stop that forward momentum. So a good play by Batchy to limit it to that. So this will be a big play for the Rams here to see if they can keep this 4th down from being 4th and 5 or longer.
All right, so the ball spotted at the 43-yard line. It's a 3rd and 7 upcoming for the Highlanders. As Bearer under center again, Bearer will roll out to his right, keep it himself, and he will not even make it maybe to the 45-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and about 5. So, Jim, as we were talking about, 4-down territory, I'm sure it is. So they're at 4th and 5 right now. They're still in their own territory.
Well, here's why they're going for it here. Not only because they're prone to be going for it, plus the Rams have to watch the ball here. They're not just drawn off. But Richland drove the field with such ease there. Cambria Heights realizes they can't just turn the ball over on downs or on a straight punt all the time.
All right, Fox will go in motion and set himself into the backfield now. I think they're trying to draw him off as Bearer will look to the sidelines again.
Well, you always have to worry that it looks like you're drawing them off and they're going to wait till the last second to actually snap a play. So,
all right, Cambria Heights will call a timeout as we can hear it from up here. So this game is playing out, Jim, a little bit differently than we thought. I think you're right. I think Cambria Heights needs to stick to who they are, and who they are is a running football team. And we've seen 4 pass attempts so far, and about 9 offensive plays, which is a little bit off for Cambria Heights.
I don't know that they shouldn't try that. And let's be honest, both long balls were open. The first one, he threw too long and he missed his receiver. The second one, the receiver got his paws on it and could not hold on. Now, I don't know if that was the hit that Kellen Stahl put on him just as he caught the ball, or whether it was just at his fingertips. It is a little bit of a damp, chilly night out there. Or it could be the fact that they've only had 10 completions on the year, so you practice a lot, so it's a different circumstance. And let's be honest, they probably don't practice at night under their own lights. So as odd as it might sound, for the receivers on Cambria Heights, a bit of a challenge to catch a ball under these lights. I wonder if PJ has now it's a little darker. If PJ, are the lights looking a little bit different to you? How's that feel to you down under the field right now?
No, actually, I think the lighting is done very well here. I don't see very many dark spots on the field, natural dark spots. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it down here. I don't know what it looks like from up there.
Looks pretty nice from here. I'm just having a hard time. It's almost like Richland's week last week. Numbers for Cambria Heights pretty hard to pick up from out here with the uniforms, with the red uniforms and the light blue numbers. Pretty hard to pick up actual numbers. Jim's got the binoculars, which really helps.
They are going to go for it anyway on 4th down.
We'll go for 4th and 5 here upcoming. Bearer under center. Bearer will keep it, roll out, and the ball is tipped at the line. So Richland, that's Connor Rager on the tip, gets into the backfield.
I don't think that you can call a ball a tip that I actually could hear from here. That was more of a slap. That was a spanking. He spanked that pass. When I've got on headsets and I'm a good 80 yards away from that
and
play and I can hear it,
yep.
you know he got a solid piece of that ball. So the Rams take over on downs inside Heights territory.
Yep, they're at the Heights 45-yard line, 1st and 10. 4:28 remaining in the first quarter. Richland leading 6-0. It was a Kellen Stahl 7-yard scamper. And it will be Evan McCracken who is in the backfield. He will set himself to the right of Stahl. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Stahl back. Stahl looking deep. Stahl has Griffin LaRue. He is open. LaRue has it. And LaRue pushed out of bounds at about the 1-yard line, it looks like.
Oh.
So, nice.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Pass by Kellen Stahl.
Let's give Griff LaRue some credit. There have been some early drops early on as these two have kind of worked out their timing. That pass tested every bit of his range to get to the ball. He managed to get both paws on it and pull it in, and the defender gave him a push. Otherwise, it's a touchdown, but a beautiful completion for the Rams.
I think it was Jared Fox back in coverage, able to push LaRue out at the 1-yard line. So Richland on the verge of scoring again. 4:21 remaining in the first quarter. Richland leading 6-0. Evan McCracken will stay in at running back. Griffin LaRue will go to the left. They will pitch to LaRue. LaRue tries the left side. He tries to turn the corner, and he will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Richland Rams. Griffin LaRue from 1 yard on the jet sweep.
I tell you what, it's good to have the touchdown. I think that exposes a problem for Cambria Heights. I don't know that they have outside speed to contain Griff LaRue in that play.
Griff was, you can see how he was very patient, and when he picked out his spot, and able to turn the corner and walk into the end zone.
Well, if anything, you could say he hesitated and probably should have just gone for the corner from the get-go. I think if he just sprints that, I don't think it's even close. He thought about cutting it back, and that's how they caught up.
All right, Adam Fauci now on to attempt the extra point. Kellen Stahl on for the hold. There's the snap. There's the hold. There's the kick. I think it's tipped, so it will be no good. I think the ball may have gotten tipped. I'll get confirmation there by PJ.
A little slow in the mic draw. I don't believe it was. I believe her foot, she got totally underneath it. So
okay, because it looked like it was a kind of a weird trajectory of the football.
No, not from my angle.
All right, so Autumn Fauci misses her 3rd extra point of the year, but the Rams lead here 12-0 with 4:14 remaining in the first quarter.
Probably a good moment to give a shout out to the Cambria Heights cheerleaders. They're wearing the pink ribbons and the pink pom-poms tonight. We haven't ended October. It is Think Pink and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So great that the student body out here at Cambria Heights, and in particular our cheerleaders here tonight for the Highlanders, have decided to lend a hand in the cause and raise awareness for breast cancer awareness. So hats off to the ladies of Cambria Heights.
And we'll go ahead and shout out some sponsors now, as we got to thank them every week. We can't do this without them. And if you want to get in on any sponsorships, there are still a lot available. Please call PJ McGowan. He will let you know all the details. So just a minute, we'll get to those sponsors. We can't do this without them. We thank Romesburg Media as well for having us and setting this up for us every week.
Well, right now, Cambria Heights, as they prepare to get this kickoff, they've got some choices to make. I'm not sure what the game plan was coming in. They've tried to strike deep a couple of times, and they've also tried to run out in the flat some shorter passes, just a lot of defensive pressure from the Rams. But 5 pass attempts, no completions at this point, and they've got more pass attempts than running attempts for the Haluska boy, and that's not how this offense has worked for them all year.
All right, Cullen O'Dowd now on to kick it away, and Cullen kicks this ball to about the 15-yard line, picked up at about the 10. And ball brought up close to the 30-yard line again. Jim, we'll see where they spot this. They might spot it right at 30 again. We'll see.
Well, 30 or 31 at most, but they're going to go to a near stripe. That's just how it works. He clearly had it over that to the 31. They're going to go there.
All right, so that's where we'll spot the ball at the 31-yard line. I want to say hi to some listeners. My mother-in-law, Linda Forish, listening at home with my father-in-law, Charlie. So glad they're listening. Anybody else listening, you want to send us a shout, we'll let you.
Oh, great.
Now
say
hi to you.
Now my phone's going to blow up.
Listening. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Nice to have Ram Nation listening. We heard there's some Richland watch parties, so welcome all those. Ryan Bear under center now. Bear will hand off to the right side, and the Richland defensive front all there to meet him as he turned the corner. It's only going to be a couple-yard gain for Haluska. Bryce Batchy in on the tackle.
Well, I'll tell you, Batchy with the tackle, and Stahl did a good job of coming up and sealing off that end. That he was hoping to maybe try to get somewhere else there, but it just wasn't there. And when he had to turn back in, there was a lot of white jerseys waiting for him there. That is, however, the longest gain on first down. It's still 2nd and 8, but that's closer to 7 than they've had on any of the other plays at this point.
High ball at the Cambria Heights 33-yard line. Bear under center again. Bear will hand it off to the right side, and the ball brought to about the 35-yard line. About a 2-yard gain again, and it'll bring up about 3rd and 6.
Well, this is where it's decision times now for Cambria Heights. They're down by, 12. No extra points converted, which is good news for them. But, they have tried to throw the ball a couple of times, and even when they tried the shorter routes, a sack, and the second one was, you called it a tip, I call it an assault of a pass by Rager. So whether Cambria Heights sticks to the running game or not right now, they do a pitch out.
All right. And it's a pitch, the ball will get to about the 40-yard line. It'll be short of a first down still, Jim. And that was
Fox.
Fox on the carry. Number two on the carry. It's Tanner Height on the carry. Hard to pick up the numbers from up here without using binoculars, so hats off to the Cambria Heights guy who flashed me the numbers because they're a little bit hard to see for us up here. So about a 4th and 1, ball spotted just over the 40-yard line. Big play for Cambria Heights here. And hand it off to the left side here, and the Richland line will stack him up, but I think it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, he barely needed the length of the football. The moment the handoff was clean, he was almost through for the first down at that point. So the ball is going to get just past the 42-yard line. That last carry by number 2 is actually their 5-yard gain, was actually their longest play. Tanner Height, their longest play from scrimmage to this point.
All right, so 1st and 10 upcoming for Cambria Heights. They're at their own 42-yard line. We have 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Richland leading 12-0 as Bear under center again. Bear will hand it off to Fox on the right side. Fox over the 50, Fox to the 45 before he's brought down. So a lot of speed by Jared Fox there, able to turn the corner and bring it into Richland territory for the first time of the ball game for Cambria Heights, as they'll find themselves at the 42-yard line.
Well, I'm certainly not saying there's not good speed there. There is. He's got the advantage of that motion from flying back. But the fact is, the Richland Rams are so committed to the middle of that field that they got sucked in a little bit there, and then it became pursuit rather than just holding your lane. So again, Richland's going to have to be disciplined on their defensive lanes.
1st and 10 upcoming for the Highlanders. They're at the Richland 42-yard line. They trail 12-0 here. And Fox will go in motion to the left. It's a fake pitch and handoff up the middle where they will go nowhere as Richland line, the whole defensive front is there. So maybe about a yard gain for Haluska. That's going to be about it.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting thing that's happening in high school football these days. It is illegal to pull a ball carrier forward. It is not illegal to push
him,
a ball carrier. So what happens is he gets stood up at the line, and then and this is not the only offense that does it. They pile in from behind. The idea is to stay up and hope that you keep going. So it's incumbent upon the defensive line to not just give up on the play. They've got to keep pushing till they hear a whistle.
All right, so 2nd and 9 upcoming for the Highlanders. We're at 40 seconds and counting in the first quarter. Bear will pitch this out to the left as is Haluska as he tries to turn the corner and gets hit before he gets to the 35-yard line. We're listening to the Richland Ram Football Network. We are back. We'd like to thank our sponsors. We didn't get a chance last time, so we'll run those down real quick as we can't do this without them. So we want to thank people in the community, Precious Metals and Diamond Company, Chan Soon Shong Medical Center, Best Window and Door, Blade Broadband, Rizzo's Italian Restaurant, The Fifth Bar and Grill, which was formerly The Alibi, Wayne Langerhoek for Senate, Advanced Office Systems, Dean Jordan Goodyear, Ponchione Financial, Cardellino Eye Care and Optical, Eco Safe Sanitizing, Nico's Restaurant, Johnstown Construction, FWF Insurance and Erie Insurance, Pinnacle Chiropractic Spine and Sports Center, Flair of Country Catering and Event Planning, Sporting Goods Discounters, FX Screen Printing, DB Homes, and Slovenian Savings and Loan. Can't thank you guys enough for sponsoring the broadcast. Hope everybody's having a good time listening.
Hey, Ed, I got to clean up a couple shout-outs real quick. Up in New Jersey, my sister Marianne gave us the idea for the drill-in. And in Pittsburgh, PA, my other sister Denise. They're all been faithful listeners over the past few weeks. So thank you all.
Yes, can't say thank you enough. All right, so it's 3rd and 5 upcoming for Cambria Heights. Bear under center. Fox will go in motion to the left, and it'll be handoff up the middle. And again, the Rams line is there. That ball will pretty much go nowhere, maybe to about the 36-yard line, maybe a gain of 1. Jim, it's going to bring up 4th and about 4.
That was Haluska, and Connor Rager, I don't want to say he came in clean. He was fighting all the way, but he got a left arm in there and managed to break up the momentum of the run and then just wrap that other arm around him. So a 4th down play here for Cambria Heights, who cannot afford to give the Rams the ball again without answering on the scoreboard in some form at this point early in the second quarter.
All right, so big play upcoming for Cambria Heights. They find themselves down 12-0. Just the beginning of the second quarter as Bear under center again. Bear will hand off to the right. It is going to be Fox again as he turns the corner again. Good speed by Jared Fox. Pushed out of bounds there by Griffin LaRue. So play seems to be working. A nice little sweep to Jared Fox twice on this drive, and picked up some pretty good yardage. So it moves the ball to the Richland 14-yard line. All right, so Ryan Bearer brings them out. 1st and 10 from the Richland 14. Bearer hands off. This time it is Haluska, who maybe picks up a yard or 2.
Well, what you're seeing here is what Cambria Heights has been able to do to this point in the season is to run Haluska and set up the occasional big play with the other guys. By battering Haluska in, they've set up some big plays for some of the other guys. Height, certainly with a couple of runs, and then the 17 on that last carry as well. With a big run as well. So that's where they've managed to make their hay, not with their traditional running back. No gain on that play.
Well, that's a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Bear under center again. Bear will hand it off up the middle again. No, it's going to be out to Jared Fox again. This time he's brought down for a loss. That is Evan McCracken able to penetrate and bring down Jared Fox as he tried for the right sideline again. And that is a big loss. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
I got a feeling the big fellas in the middle told Evan, don't you worry about the middle. We'll take care of that. You just make sure that guy doesn't get the ball outside. And a loss in that play is huge now because that pushes them way back, almost forces them. They might try to run the ball here again, but they're in a position where they're probably going to have to throw the ball if they want to honestly think they're going to pick this up in the next 2 downs.
So that ball spotted at about, looks like the 17-yard line. It will be Bear under center. Bear drop backs the throw, looks to the left. Going to throw it up into the end zone, and that ball is going to fall incomplete. Good coverage there by the Rams as LaRue and Stahl were back deep. And the ball kind of thrown into a no-man's area.
Well, clearly he was thrown to a spot on the field, and again, this is part of the problem. When you don't throw the ball a lot, when you're not used to it, I don't think anybody lost it. You ended up with 2 Cambria Heights receivers. Both of them cut their routes off around the goal line, and the ball was thrown into the end zone. Somebody, and I'm not sure which, somebody did not run the right route there.
All right, so it's going to bring up 4th and 12. It looks like we're going to try for a field goal as Brett Harrison will come in to attempt the field goal.
So the ball's marked around, the 22. So a 32-yard kick.
There's a snap. There's the hold. Oh, and the
Blocked.
Rams are in there
That
again.
ball's
That
loose.
is Aiden Thomas.
That's live.
And it's
the
a
Rams
live
have
ball.
it.
Rams
and
have
now
it.
it's a foot race.
It is Griffin LaRue as he got the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Griffin LaRue will walk into the end zone. So on the blocked field goal, Aiden Thomas Griffin LaRue able to pick it up on the live ball and take it all the way to the end zone for another Richland Ram touchdown.
I got to tell you, for a moment there, everybody froze like the play was over. And LaRue waited for a good hop on the ball, and once he got to it, everybody responded then. But at that point, if you're going to give Griffin LaRue a 5-yard head start, all you're going to end up doing is chasing him the whole way to the end zone.
Got to be a little bit demoralizing here for Cambria Heights. Had the longest drive of the game so far. They're down. They find themselves down 12-0. They get it deep into Richland territory. Have a big loss on the play. Try for a field goal. Ends up getting blocked, and Griffin LaRue takes it to the house. Autumn Fauci on now to attempt the extra point. She missed on her first attempt. Kellenstall on the hold. There's a snap. There's the hold. There's the kick. And this time Fauci puts it up, and it is good. So Autumn Fauci puts the Rams up 19-0 here with 9:32 remaining in the second quarter. PJ, you are there on the Rams sideline. How elated were they on that big block by Aiden Thomas?
I'm telling you, it wasn't in slow motion, but from the field, it just seemed like you knew that play was coming. Our line has so much penetration this whole game, and Aiden Thomas got right in there. And Aiden, you got to give him credit on that block. And like you said, Jim, if you spot a few yards to Griffin LaRue, you spotted too many. So, great play by the special teams of Richland. They put some scores up, and you guys alluded to in the beginning of the game, if there's that score on special teams, that mistake, that turnover, those are going to play in Cambria very, very bad against Cambria Heights. It's going to be hard enough for them to keep up with Richland's offense, but throw in a couple of special team scores, then look out. It's going to be trouble.
And as Jim said, the team goes down 2 scores. They find themselves down 3 scores now. But a team like Cambria Heights that relies on ball control, they're down 3 scores. I mean, there is still 9:32 remaining before halftime, but still, just makes it a lot higher mountain to climb for them.
Those were two of the observations for the game. A two-score lead early on would be devastating, and a special teams or a defensive score would be devastating. The Rams have managed to accomplish both those things.
Yep.
Cambria Heights now, I got to imagine, has just got to get back to basics, try to move the ball, hope to get a score, and then figure out something to do defensively at this point. The Richland Rams have had their way at this point in a number of fashions. Their first possession, while they moved down the field, a couple choppy moments. Let's pause for the kickoff here.
All right, Cullen O'Dowd on to kick it away. Cullen O'Dowd puts a good boot on the ball as it'll fall at about the 20-yard line. Cambria Heights will bring it up over the 30-yard line. And 35 inside about the 37-yard line, 38-yard line where to be spotted. First and 10 for Cambria Heights. And I got to mention this real quick, as Aiden Thomas was the one that made the block field goal. I got to say hi to Randy Smith, who was there with Rick Jordan, Al Thomas, and his lovely wife Bobby are watching the game. So glad you guys are with us, and the Thomas family's got to be elated as Aiden came flying in and blocked that field goal.
You guys are putting a lot of pressure on me to say hello to folks back home. So I
I
better say hello to my wife, Elizabeth. There'll be no going home with this. Hi, Elizabeth. How we doing?
Again, a bunch of...
She's in the warm enjoying the game on TV.
My wife and my daughter are up here. They're one of the many that are up in the parking lot here, so say hi to them. Love them. Glad they're here. All right, Ryan Bear under center. First and 10 as he will hand the ball straight up the middle. And again, the Rams defensive front is stout. Ball will get maybe close to the 40-yard line, about a 2-yard gain.
Well, that was a handoff to Fox, but that's the first time Fox tried to run it between the tackles. And I'm just going to point out 1, 2, 3. I got 9 carries for Haluska with like 14 yards, while the Height has 2 carries for 11. So their bell count back. They certainly have given him some work, but the Rams are prepared for it. Fox has done most of his work around the outside, around the perimeter. That time they tried to spring him with a little trap play up the middle, but just too much white clogging the lanes there right now.
All right, so 2nd and 8 upcoming. Ball spotted at the Cambria Heights 40-yard line. 19-0 Rams lead as Bear will hand us off to the right side. And again, maybe just the 40-yard line again. Probably no gain on the play as Connor Rager able to clean up as Haluska got the carry.
I'll tell you, it was Connor Rager, but also Rager making contact, but also Jalen Triplin, Bubba J, And I tell you, if you got Connor Rigger and Bubba J hitting you at the same time, you were wishing you're home studying geometry. You'd much rather be doing homework than having both those guys hit you at the
There's
same time.
that math thing again. You know, I don't like math up here now. Where that's all we keep mentioning is math.
All right, well,
Geometry was certainly not one of my
I didn't figure you were a
favorites.
literature guy either. So you let me know what you paid attention to in class, and we'll say some of that.
All right, ball at the 41-yard line, 3rd and 7 for Cambria Heights. Bear in the gun this time, as he will drop back to throw, and he's got a handful of Nathan Kniss, who brings him down at about the 37-yard line. Good penetration again by the Rams, able to get in the backfield, as this time Bear went shotgun and found himself in the arms of Nathan Kniss. And that's going to bring up a big 4th down, and we're going to see the punt now. Like I said, normally a 4-down team, but you lose yardage like that again all the way back to their own
Well, 4th and 20 for a running team. You know, the thing about that was there was so much pressure. I actually thought maybe it was a screen, that they had chipped him and let him come through. And if it was, hats off to the defensive line of Richland, still applying that much pressure. They couldn't get a screen off. But
looks like Brandon Fitzpatrick on to punt it away for the Highlanders. Oh, it's a punt off the side of the foot, and it lands at about the 50, but takes a big Highlander bounce as it goes inside the 40-yard line, and it'll be down at about the 35. So the ball, not a very good punt, Jim, hits at about the Cambria Heights 45-yard line and rolls all the way to the Richland 35.
I know you say you don't like math, but he started it as 19, and it ended up not returned at the 35.
Yeah.
The net on that's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Now, if you drew up that bounce, if you know how to do that on purpose, that's great. I was a little concerned it was so short. Sam Penna was a gunner, was blocking down there. I thought it was going to go to him the right sideline, but he had enough sense to back away, but then it took the big hop.
Our Richland 1st and 10 now, Stahl on the gun. It looks like it's Evan McCracken as the running back who sets himself to Stahl's right. Bunch formation to the left. As Stahl will hand off to McCracken. He'll pick his way. Got caught by the ankles and will be dropped for no gain at the 35-yard line. Nice penetration there by number 52 for the Highlanders, as that is Bailey Horvath.
Well, I don't know if Coach Bailey wants to do it or not, but when those running backs are when he's bellying up the middle, they're committed heavy to it, and the defensive backs are giving a lot of cushion to our wideouts. We're going double on both sides. Probably an excellent time for Kellen Stahl to fake that ball and do a little naked bootleg. I think there's probably some running room for Stahl if he chooses to run the ball.
2nd and 10 upcoming as Stahl will keep it, throw it this out to the, it kept just off the chest. I think that was LaRue trying to catch, it was Griffin LaRue, just off his chest and unable to hold it. Well, it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give Griff a little credit there because I think Jordan Ford reached up thinking that ball was for him.
I was just going to say.
And then at last minute, Jordan realized it wasn't for him and put the paws back down. I think Griff had kind of given up on the play thinking that that Ford was going to be making the catch. And instead, he probably has a diamond-shaped mark on his chest right now.
All right, 3rd and 10. And we have a flag on the play. Going to be a pre-snap penalty. Might be a motion on the Rams.
No, I think you got Cambria Heights jumping off that left side.
But he did a freeze play. We'll see if the freeze worked for the Rams. And Coach Fred Yanni just sent me a little shout out, little text. Says, Jim, you're doing a great job. Just want to let you know he misses being here. Glad you can fill in. And he said we're doing a great job.
Well, that means a lot coming from Fred. But we're not filling in for Fred. There's no replacing Fred Yanni. So.
Nobody can replace Fred Yanni for sure. He's a legend in his own mind. So. All right, so the ball, we spotted at the 40-yard line. It was offsides on Cambria Heights. 3rd and 5 upcoming now for the Rams as Stahl drops back to pass. Stahl looking, has a man over the middle. It's Ryan McGowan, has it at the 40-yard line. Makes a little step at the 30. He's got the 30, the 10. It's a touchdown. I lost my numbers here as I went, but Ryan McGowan all the way for a touchdown.
That's a 60-yard completion for the score. McGowan, the toughest part of that for Ryan was actually catching the ball. He was out ahead of it a little bit, had to slow a little bit, turned on his arms, but once he pulled it in, one man to get him, and he did a nice little cut move to the right. And I tell you, Ryan's another guy. You don't give him a step. Once he had a step on the second guy that was coming through, he wasn't going to get caught.
I think Ryan had a 49-yard touchdown earlier in the year, now has a 40-yard touchdown, or a 60-yard touchdown. Excuse me. We have a very proud papa on there, which we'll get to in a minute. As we have Autumn Fauci on now to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold. Autumn Fauci is up, and Autumn Fauci is no good. She misses again. So Autumn Facci, your second missed extra point. We had a missed 2-point conversion earlier in the game, but our score right now 25-0. Richland lead Cambria Heights, and I'm going to send it down to PJ McGowan as you are one proud papa.
Oh, yeah.
As Ryan made a great catch and a great move.
Without a doubt. That's the thing. I can't tell you how proud and excited I am for my son on that touchdown pass, but, the other side about that is there is never the same target for this Richland team. I mean, from a freshman running back and linebacker to Sammy Penna to Jordan Ford to Griff LaRue to Graydon Lewis. I mean, the numbers that Kellen can choose in that field and go to aren't limited very much at all. I mean, it's a big scope, and there's a lot of playmakers that aren't on the field all the time too. So great job by the Richland offense. They came to play tonight, and I think they're going to try some things since we got a little lead here and work on some plays for the finish this game out. So back up to you guys.
Kellen Stahl is 3 for 4 for 127 yards. So he has completions of 22. That was his shortest completion, a 22-yard game. 22, 45, and now 60.
And again, another shout-out as we welcome Eric Shetler, who is Griffin LaRue's mom, and Kristen Neal, who are listening. So welcome to them. Glad you are listening. And to Kim Pasco and her husband, Brian, who are listening. Glad to have you with us, as always. And to Jack Daly, who is listening in Windber with his lovely wife. So welcome them. Cullen O'Dowd now on to kick it away to the Highlanders. Richland leading 25-0 here with 6:06 remaining before halftime. Back deep for the Highlanders are Tribus and Fox. Short kick, a little pooch finds that little seam. Nice kick there by Cullen O'Dowd as he found the dead zone. And Cambria Heights did a nice job just bouncing on the ball, Jim, as the ball bounces up, hits the foot, and you just got to jump on it. So nice job there by Cullen O'Dowd.
I wonder, because Autumn Falchi's had a little trouble kicking the ball here tonight. I wonder, it's a beautiful stadium and it's well lit, but if you look down past both goalposts, it is nothing but darkness. You're seeing the vast array of unlit sky of Patton, PA. It is pure darkness, and well, certainly it's dark everywhere this time of night. It's a little bit more illuminated in Richland, so I wonder if Autumn's having some troubles just because it feels and looks different.
All right, so Cambria Heights takes over. They're at their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10. They trail 25-0 as Bear under center again. Bear looks to throw this out to his right. Wilson in the air and lost in coverage as Graydon Lewis cannot make the cannot set himself. And I think it's number 14 that was on the catch for the Highlanders. Cody Schreier was able to adjust to the ball.
I tell you, Graydon Lewis lost track of the ball. And it was underthrown. I won't necessarily call it a back shoulder throw. Graydon was keeping stride for thigh. The receiver made the adjustment and came back and got the ball. I actually thought Graydon took the ball off the receiver before he went down, but they're keeping the possession with Cambria Heights at this point. So good recovery to make the tackle and not let that turn into a touchdown for Graydon at that point. But that's one of the dangers when you're out there in an island. You can get lost out there in a hurry.
1st and 10, 49-yard line of Richland now, Cambria Heights. Cambria Heights, Ryan Bear back to throw. He's going to try it again. He goes to Fox this time on the sideline. That's out of bounds, though. Again, Graydon Lewis in perfect stride coverage with Fox.
Well, it's a very popular play in the NFL, that fade route to the corner, right? You get a big receiver, you throw it out to the corner, you hope the math works out. And right now in this possession, Cambria Heights has decided that, well, the run hasn't worked and these sweeps aren't working. Let's see if we can work this fade route. They've decided at this point to target Graydon Lewis. Now on that right side, which is where they prefer to have their quarterback throwing. Sam Penna is lined up. His man is over there. Feels funny to call him Sam Penna.
I know. That's your boy. You could just say my son.
Well, let's see how he does in this play. Cody Schreier is the guy who's guarding right there.
All right, it's 2nd and 10 upcoming for Cambria Heights at the Richland 49-yard line. Bear under center again. Bear, a quick pass this time to Schreier, and Sam Penna able to make the tackle immediately.
Quick slant play on that. Sam got his hand in on the ball. Thought it popped out, but again, they're going to give him the catch on it. It's a nice gain.
Ball be spotted at about, looks like the 43-yard line. So 3rd and 4 upcoming for Cambria Heights. 4:56 remaining before halftime. Bear under center again. And he will hand us off to Haluska, who goes over left guard there and is able to take it to about the Richland 35-yard line. So first down pickup there by Cambria Heights. They find themselves on the move again.
It's like an 8-yard gain for Haluska. He's only had 14 to this point, so his biggest gain of the night. That completion, by the way, the long one right side that the defensive back for Richland got lost on, that was the first completion of the night for Cambria Heights. They've got 2 now.
All right, so first and 10. 4:17 and counting here remaining before halftime. Cambria Heights trails 25-0. This time, Bear will go shotgun. And Bear will roll out to his right. He'll throw on deep on the right side, out of bounds as he was looking for, looks like for height.
Well, he was, and again, we've touched on it a couple of times. When you're not used to throwing, some of the finer points of this. He wants to drop that ball between the sideline and the numbers on the sideline. And 2 pass plays now, the ball has come down within reach of the receiver, but it's been out of bounds by the time it's come down. And that sounds like an easy thing to throw it between those numbers, let's say in that case the 15 or the 10-yard line and the sideline. But trying to get it close to the sideline to give your receiver the maximum advantage, in this case, both times out of bounds. Even if he catches it, he's not going to get the completion. 2nd
and 10 here for Heights. Bear will hand us off to Haluska, and Stout, I think that was Aiden Thomas, was the first one to make contact.
Haluska did lose the ball there. The referees didn't mark it, but it was recovered by Cambria Heights. One of their linemen hopped in. So
good penetration there by Aiden Thomas. Yard loss on the play brings up 3rd and 11 now for Cambria Heights. If you're just joining us, Richland leading 25-0 here with 3:27 remaining before halftime.
Well, they've gone to that deep fade pattern a couple of times now, and both times the quarterback was staring it off. I'm going to guess Kellen Stahl, if he sees it again, is going to jump it. He's not looking him off to the opposite side. He's rolling left, looking left. He's in trouble.
Chased by Kniss, and Kniss brings him down again. Oh, and they're going to might call a horse collar here as Kniss able to drag down Bearer from behind. But the flag came out. I have a feeling this is going to be a personal foul, the horse collar. P.J. McGowan was there on the sideline. P.J., hard to tell from up here. I thought it looked like a good tackle from up here.
PJ's at a loss for words on the call.
Yeah,
well, I'll tell you what. Anytime you bring a guy down from behind from
whenever I get close here, I can pop an earphone off. We're down here and you got a live huddle screen, so it's easy to watch replays on the sideline. And that was a missed call, much like the missed hold, the play before that, and a few of the other ones. But that happens in the game of sports. You know that.
I think anytime you're chasing a guy from behind like that, from that angle, and the referee was a good 15 yards behind it, trying to keep up with 2 young athletes, you see that the nature of that drag down. You're going to get that call. That's what's going to happen.
That's the shame, though, because that's all it was an angle.
It's still 3rd down here as Cambria Heights will hand this ball up. It is Fox again, I believe, or is that Height? Again, hard to pick out the numbers as he gets over the 30-yard line to about the 29. So Fox on the carry.
So not to live in the past, but I just watched that replay again. Both hands were below the waist on that tackle.
That's what we thought from up here as well.
Yeah, just but poor angle and poor judgment on the referee.
All right, we'll go and run down our sponsors again. We cannot do this anymore, without them. And we got to thank. We have a great community, Jim, that's able to support our boys. Obviously, our fans can't be here, so it's great that we're able to do this. So glad they can join and have Romesburg Media doing this. But Precious Metals and Diamond Company, Chan Soon Shong Medical Center, Best Window and Door, Blade Broadband, Rizzo's Italian Restaurant, The Fifth Bar and Grill, Wayne Langerholk for Senate, Advanced Office Systems, Dean Jordan Goodyear, Ponchione Financial, Cardellino Eye Care and Optical, EcoSafe Sanitizing, Nico's Restaurant, Johnstown Construction, FWF Insurance and Erie Insurance, Pinnacle Chiropractic Spine and Sports Center, Flair Country Catering and Evening Planning, Sporting Good Discounters, FX Screen Printing, DB Homes, and Slovenian Savings and Loan.
So I guess we'll give a shout out as well down in I guess it's in Brigantine or Atlantic City, New Jersey. My brother-in-law Jared is watching from a beach house.
Fantastic.
Loves Cambria Heights and currently is sitting back enjoying his crabs right now. So he's enjoying football and the luxury of fond memories of Cambria, coming out and playing in Cambria Heights or being around Cambria Heights.
All right, so it's going to bring up 4th and 4 here with 2:59 remaining before halftime. So even after the horse collar call, it does not result in an automatic first down, obviously. It's just a step off on the penalty. So 4th and 4 upcoming for Cambria Heights. They trail 25-0. Bear under center again. And it will be Fox as he misdirects to the side, and he's tripped up. I think he might have tripped on his own man.
I tell you, he hit the pile. There was no movement.
Yep.
He tried to push back, and he stepped on somebody's foot. And just could not push off to come back. And when he tried to bounce it outside, just did not have any balance.
Yeah.
So.
However, I think the Richland Rams were there anyway, and I think he was probably going to get stopped short anyway. But anyway, falls down, and Richland will take over 1st and 10 at about the 31-yard line.
Well, they got twins on both sides right now and one back, so I don't know whether Richland's going to try to run the ball more or whether they've got some short work to do.
Well, they have plenty of time.
Game.
2:55 remaining before halftime. There's plenty of time as Ryan McGowan will go in motion to the left. They'll fake the pitch. Stahl will throw it. He has the man. That's Griffin LaRue. And Griffin LaRue will take it close to the 45-yard line. They'll take him to the 44. First down for Richland.
What a well-designed play on that. You thought when he faked the pitch, defensive lineman thought he had Kellen Stahl. You thought Stahl was going to keep it and that it had been snuffed out, but no, he pulls up and he's got a man floating through the middle. It's LaRue. We'll give him 14 yards on the play, I think.
All right, so Stahl in the gun. And Stahl will hand off this time to Evan McCracken on the right side. He's got the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35. Bounces it out to the right, the 30, before he's hit hard. But Evan McCracken takes it all the way to the Cambria Heights 30-yard line. Good blocking up front by the Richland Rams, and
I think we're
good
gonna
run by Evan McCracken.
We're gonna have to nickname these skill players the young guns.
They are young.
Yeah, absolutely. First and 10 Rams at the Cambria Heights 30-yard line. They lead 25-0. Stahl rolls out to his left. Stahl looking, has him. Oh, just over the head of Jeb Jordan. Stahl had Jordan open and just threw it over his head.
And I tell you, it might have been a little bit too much for Stahl to do. He was running and throwing against the grade, but if he could have angled back more, McGowan broke free towards the center of the field. That's a bit of a tougher pass, and I don't know if he was completely in Stahl's line of vision with it, but the defense had broken down in the backfield. Everybody had committed up. The man he threw to was open as well, don't get me wrong, but McGowan was alone deep in the end zone. But a tougher Stahl, more cross the body kind of throw for Stahl at that point. But something that Bailey will look at and come back to later on, if not right now.
All right, so 1:53 remaining before halftime. 2nd and 10 for Richland as Sam Penna will go in motion now. Stahl back to throw. Stahl has to tuck. Stahl will take the sideline and step out of bounds shy of the first down, but a nice run by Kellen. Starts a flag on the play, maybe a late hit. And I think it's going to be a late hit on Cambria Heights as Stahl turned the corner. And then the flag came out.
PJ, that was right in front of you. Was it a late hit or did he sort of trip him as he was heading out of bounds? It
No,
looked odd from this sideline.
He was a late head. He got hammered in the back.
All right, so PJ on the call. It's great having PJ down there. He really, it's fantastic when he can make those calls. It's very difficult to see from up here.
Does that mean I'm not welcome up in that booth?
You're welcome
Fred,
anytime.
Fred always invited me up.
PJ, you're welcome anytime.
You can come up
but your vantage point down there is fantastic.
You can come up at halftime, PJ. We're planning on leaving for a little bit.
Okay, fair enough, Jim. Thanks.
All right, ball spotted at the 11-yard line now after the penalty. I think it's Graydon Lewis now in the backfield. Stahl will fake the handoff, roll, throw out. He's got Jordan Ford as he gets over the 5-yard line to about the 4.
I thought we'd see a little bit more of Ford early in this game, but they really haven't needed it. I thought over the middle when they're out there, but it hasn't materialized primarily because you've had a couple of long runs for score. You've had a blocked field goal for score, and the Rams have a pretty good lead without having run a lot of offensive plays.
All right, 1:15 remaining before halftime. Richland leading 25-0 and are at the 5-yard line of Cambria Heights as Stahl rolls out to his right. Stahl able to step away. Stahl looking into the end zone. Stahl is going to throw, and it's batted down.
Well, I got to tell you, I think Kellen, at the end of the day, just kind of threw that one away.
Yeah.
Very hard, threw it away.
That's a smart play.
PJ, did he have a man open in that corner there, or was he just tossing her down?
No, we were definitely open. You know, you might be onto something, Jim, because these end zones right past the goal line, it is the abyss. It is dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if maybe, you know, like you said, our kicker or Kellen might be having difficulty picking them up. So, you know, we'll have to ask him after the game.
All right, 3rd and 4 from the Cambria Heights 5-yard line. 1:01 remaining before halftime. Richland looking to add to a 25-0 lead. As Evan McCracken now will take the handoff. Evan McCracken picks his way, walks into the end zone for another Richland Ram touchdown. So Evan McCracken from 5 yards out.
Well, that went well.
So listen, I gotta bring something up now.
Uh-oh.
Tomorrow is the first day of archery season here in the state of Pennsylvania, and those missed extra points will keep the second half from a running clock. So you know, I wish I would have been called in on that.
All right, Autumn Fauci on now to attempt the extra point. There's the kick, and Autumn Fauci hits it off of the goalpost. So Autumn Fauci is, I think, one out of 4 tonight? 1 out of 3 tonight.
Well,
1 out of
we
4.
didn't try on the first one. We went for the 2 points.
2-point conversion.
Right.
So Autumn Fauci misses again, but the Rams lead here 31-0 with 57 seconds remaining before halftime. A couple more shout-outs as getting more texts. We want to thank Griffin's papa, John Miller, for watching, who just got out of the hospital today. So, John, hope you're feeling well, and glad you are listening. And we have a shout-out to from the Rager family. So, glad to have the Rager family, and they're cheering on their gentle giant, Connor. So,
well, not so gentle tonight.
And absolutely go Rams. And we got a shout-out to Griffin's Meemaw and Aunt KK. So, glad you are listening. Keep those
hey,
messages
Ed,
coming. Yeah.
little run through the Laurel Highlands. Central Cambria is over Penn Cambria, 21-7 at half. Somerset and Bishop McCourt are tied 0-0.
Wow.
No score in that game at half.
Wow.
Chestnut Ridge 14, Greater Johnstown 0. Guilfoyle and Westmont, I don't think anybody's checked in on this game for a while. They're still calling it in the first quarter at no score.
Okay. Thanks, PJ, for those. And the Petruzik family, Frank Petruzik and his lovely wife, Judy.
I want to go back for a second. You said hello to Meemaw and KK. What was that?
Meemaw and KK.
All right, Meemaw and KK.
There's a Griffin LaRue's Meemaw and Aunt KK.
Guilfoyle and Westmont's going to remain 0-0 tonight. I was just informed that game is tomorrow by our wonderful field photographer, Susie Leitenberger.
That would probably be why nobody's checked in on it in a while, PJ.
Thanks, Susie.
That's right.
All right, Cohen O'Dowd now to kick it away. And Cohen trying to find that same spot as it does as it bounces at the 20-yard line. Picked up by Cambria Heights and brought out over the 25.
Tackled by a young gun, number 5, Sam Penna.
So Sammy Penna on the tackle.
I'm familiar with his work. And we've touched on this. You've got a sophomore Batchy out there. Ryan McGowan is a sophomore. Graydon Lewis is a sophomore. Evan McCracken is a freshman. Sam, my Sam, is also a sophomore, but actually 1 day younger than Evan McCracken. They were literally in the hospital side by side when they were born.
Fantastic.
So a very young group of contributors out there. I can't imagine Cambria Heights not going to try to make something out of these last 52 seconds.
Yeah. Jim, that's not to mention your quarterback and Griff LaRue are both juniors.
Yeah, those are the old guys in the teams in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Bear will go into the shotgun as he will look for something. He goes out to his right side again. Sammy Penna comes up, able to make the breakup. They were looking for number 14 on that play as Cody Schreier, but Sam Penna did a great job, broke on the ball, able to break it up.
Well, Sam's got a read on his curve now. This quarterback is going to have to start, if they're going to throw it more in the second half, he's going to have to start looking it off because as he's been dropping back or rolling out, the moment he looks downfield, that's where he's going with the ball. And Brandon Bailey won't let that go unnoticed for his defensive backs, for anybody that hasn't noticed it at this point.
All right, Bear back under center, 2nd and 10 upcoming now with only 48 seconds remaining before halftime. And handed up over the right side, but able to be brought down there by the Richland Rams for a short gain. Got to say hi to Kellen's Aunt Kim and Pappy Harper, who are watching, and Kellen's Uncle Dale and Aunt Erin Mishler, Kellen's number 1 Aunt Morgan, who is listening in Pittsburgh, and Brad and Kim McLaughlin, who are listening in Somerset.
Well, okay.
Say, Rams Nation
They are.
reaches out very, very far, and it's great that everybody's listening. We're so glad to have you. Richland leading here 31-0 with 38 seconds remaining before halftime.
Darden Horsley's family is chiming in from Athens, Georgia, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Nice.
Shouting out Go Rams. So, yeah, we're covering all the brackets here. In terms of football here, PJ, I'll ask your opinion on this. One of the things I was concerned about coming into the game is, they bounced back nicely from their first loss against Bedford, and it was an emotional loss for the team against a very good Bedford team. They showed up against Bishop McCourt. I was a little worried they'd come into this thinking, okay, we've got this ship righted, and this would be cruise control from here. Was there any signs from the Rams on the sideline prior to the game that they kind of thought they had this in hand? Were they all focused? Because it certainly has played off like they're focused.
No, I'll tell you, I overheard a comment from the coaching staff going into Kellen right after the first series saying to Kellen, we're seeing everything we expected. So, we're preparing like we're playing the best competitor we've ever played every week, and I think that's why you're seeing the performance out of the Rams tonight.
Yeah, and Tim Ripple does a great job with with this Rams defense. They look very, very stout again tonight.
It's not. We would all love to have that Bedford game back.
Yes.
But game four, I think that would have been a little different story. Had we not played Bishop Guilfoyle, a state finalist for the past few years in the Class A ball, I think that game might have been a different story too.
All right, 40 seconds remaining here before halftime. 3rd and 9 upcoming for Cambria Heights. It will be Haluska who will take the handoff and go over the 30-yard line to about the 32.
Well, a little more room in the middle there for Haluska for the first time really tonight, but that the defense playing a little soft on that. That'll bring up 4th down.
And another timeout on the field called by, I think, Cambria Heights.
We called
So,
it.
No, we call a timeout. Say we want the ball back again. As Freddie would say, we want the ball.
Any bets that Richland goes for it if we get the ball back?
If we get the ball,
5 seconds.
If we get the ball, we are definitely going.
Well, have you made Coach Bailey aware that it's archery season and you'd like to get out, go to bed early?
I didn't go that high up the chain. I didn't go that high up the chain, but I did make mention to, I started with the manager, with Doug, and I'm working my way maybe over to Fitel and some special team coaches next. But we'll get up there by the 3rd quarter.
All right, we have a big shout out to Connor Rager from his oldest brother, who is currently and proudly serving our country on the USS Nimitz.
That's awesome.
So fantastic. Can't say enough. And thank you for your service. Absolutely.
If you're Cambria Heights, do you fake this?
It is
Down
4th and 4, and they're going to punt. No, they're going to punt this away. This one is a pretty good punt, high punt. It'll bounce at the 40-yard line and spin back to about the 38. And it will be down with about 18 seconds left to go.
All right, so that ball was placed, that punt fell exactly where Graydon Lewis lost that ball in pass coverage. So I'm thinking now those guys could not pick that ball up.
Yeah.
So there might be a little bit of a problem with the way these lights are angled more.
That's a really good observation there, PJ. That's exactly where we had our time. Graydon could not adjust to the ball.
I gotta give a shout out to my mother and my wife at home watching this game. They're both under the weather right now, so I haven't been sticking around that much because of that, but I miss them.
I hope they're feeling better. Hope they get well. Kellen Stahl now again with 18 seconds left to go, and it will be Evan McCracken who will take the handoff as he picks his way over the 40 to about the 43-yard line before he's brought down.
Got a flag on the play.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play. We'll check this.
You seem to know that before the officials knew it for some reason, PJ.
They might have got my archery quest wrong.
It is going to be a procedure here on Richland.
Well, that'll negate a McCracken run.
We got 5 seconds remaining in the game before halftime.
PJ, I haven't obviously broadcast all these games, but to my recollection, Ryan's got 2 catches on the year, and both of them are touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a pretty good
And
average.
one went for 49 and one for 60.
That's a pretty good
So
average.
fantastic average for Ryan McGowan.
I'd like to see him get a little more work like that. You know?
Yeah. I'll tell you,
they don't have to all be big.
he made a great move tonight, though, PJ. The first touchdown was just a nice bomb, and he went in untouched. This one, he made a great move on the play to find pay dirt.
They're going to do a runoff? What the?
5 seconds remaining before halftime.
The clock starts when they wind it here, so the Rams will.
All right, 4 wide receivers set.
We're going to toss it.
2 to the left and 2 to the right. Evan McCracken will stay in as the running back as he will go to the left of Stahl. I'm sure everybody's remembering the play that ran against Bedford when they tried a Hail Mary and went for a
Gotta get it off.
54-yard
2
touchdown.
seconds.
So we'll
There's the
see.
snap. Quick
It's
throw.
a quick little snap. It's going to be intercepted as it got batted down, and I think that's going to be intercepted by number 12 there. That is Ty Stockley off the tip, but that will be the end of the half. And Richland will get the ball after halftime. So Richland leading 31-0, and PJ is hoping for a quick score, so we go into the running clock.
Did that ball hit somebody's helmet? When he tried to hit that slant, did he hit a defensive lineman's helmet?
It hit somebody, and I don't know if it was a hand or a helmet. But at any rate, that brings us to halftime. We'll go ahead and step away and take a quick break as you are listening to the Richland Ram Football Network.
of a live audience for it, but they play for the music. They don't play for the crowd.
That's right. That's right.
They play for the music.
And they did a fantastic job. So anyway, our score here, 31-0, Richland leading. And, Richland has carries all sorts of momentum going into the second half. Cambria Heights looking for some sort of spark, but just could not kind of break through as Richland came up with a couple of big plays on some defensive stops. One big key block field goal that was returned by Griffin LaRue for a touchdown. But Jim, you kept some numbers, and
I kept some numbers early on, and I'd be willing to bet the Cambria Heights coaching staff would like to start this one over and maybe attack it a little bit differently. They had a little more success setting HLHAC up by running wide and throwing deep. They missed a couple of long plays early. It set them up with 3rd and long, and they couldn't get off the field or couldn't move the chains. At any rate, let's start with Richland. Kellen Stahl's 5 of 8 for 165 yards. One of those was an interception at the end of the game, at the end of the first half, the batted ball. Did we ever confirm whether that hit the kid in the head?
Not sure. We could not tell. Yeah.
But and that's really, he's been able to do that. And 3 different receivers on the ball at this point. Griffin LaRue has caught the bulk of those. McGowan with the 60-yard score. Evan McCracken has done the bulk of the damage on the ground. 42. He's got around 55 yards, 56 yards, including a touchdown. Griffin LaRue with a 3-yard run as well. Kellen Stahl has only run the ball 3 times. 2 of those where he was rolling out and he chose the run. They weren't design runs. The one design run was a 7-yard touchdown. The big deal here, though, is the HLHAC has been the bell cow back, and as we mentioned, going in 50% of their offense, or actually 50% of their carries, probably closer to 75% of their offense in terms of yardage production. 13 carries for 29 yards, and 13 of those yards were on those 2 last carries where we were playing a softer zone back, just waiting for the clock to tick out as they've gone on. Meantime, Bear passing them has 2 completions for 42 yards, the 135-yarder, but the big incompletions, those first 3. Those first 3, they tried to go deep. They tried to get a big score early, and they missed it. And they had another opportunity on the left sideline. They missed it, but I still think that if Cambria Heights came out and did what they do best, and then tried to hit those big plays, rather than hit those big plays, they might have been able to tell a little bit different of a story at this point. Still, though, 31-0 and missed extra points at this point. It's hard to believe that this was going to play out any differently given what we've seen out here. The big danger coming in for the Rams. Would they be lax? Would they take it for granted? Would they forget how motivated they were at the end of the Bedford loss? Because that was definitely a motivated group.
Yes.
They showed it when they came out against Bishop McCord. They need to let that burn in the belly whenever they come out. They can't just come out and throw their helmets on the field and hope for it to work out. So those things have gone extremely well for Richland. They've played intense ball. They've done a good job defensively. They even made some adjustments on the fly when Cambria Heights started having a little bit of success with that outside stuff, committing Evan McCracken and Graydon Lewis to the outside, just committing them out there and relying on that defensive line, those inside linebackers to clog things up. And it's been difficult to name individual defensive linemen for Richland, not because we don't have clarity on their numbers, which we had with the black uniforms. It's just a mass of red, white, and blue. And every so often you'll see a big, thick arm pull out of the crowd and grab somebody by the shirt and down. And the one I'm thinking about was a play in the back with Bubba J where he was blocked to the ground or fell in pursuit. And when the quarterback wandered back around him, just like a big, thick, Venus flytrap reached up and grabbed him and pulled him down. So the Cambria Heights now, their job, if you're a coach now of young men down by 31-0, the idea is, look, let's go out there and win the 3rd quarter and see where we are from there.
Well, we know this team's not going to give up. Cambria Heights is going to play every down. They're going to play hard. They're going to try to make something positive come out of this. The problem is stopping that Richland offense. There's just no answer from their defense that can stop the offensive players. And you said, Jim, they just don't seem to have the speed to match up on the outside. We're able to turn corners and move, and Cambria Heights just has no answer. And Richland so far able to move the ball pretty much at will in the first half.
I'm not taking anything away from Cambria Heights, but I would say, when Richland's on offense, the 3 fastest people on the field are probably Evan McCracken, Graydon Lewis, and Griff LaRue. And when you have all 3 of the 3 fastest people on the field out there in that situation, you're at a distinct advantage. So Cambria Heights really has to rely on a team approach to that defense and get a hold of somebody early on. And we've had a couple of long touchdowns that were not the case. So, and the injury to insult, if you recall, Cambria Heights won the toss and took the football, so Richland's going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yep, and back deep for the Rams will be Griffin LaRue, and trying to catch the other number, Graydon Lewis. And kicking it away for Cambria Heights will be number 1, Brett Harrison. And we have a timeout on the field, it appears.
All right, well, we had 3 officials timeout in the first 3 minutes of this ball game, and now both teams lined up for the kickoff, and both teams run back off. I'm not sure. Are we missing an official here?
Not sure, but I just got another text. So Erica Shetler, I done this before. I'm gonna do it again, just in case they weren't listening the first time. But a shout out to Griffin LaRue's Meemaw, Aunt KK, Gigi,
Grammy, Meemaw, KK, and Gigi.
And Gigi and Grammy and Pappy, who are all watching, and they are watching a great game as Griffin is having another fantastic football game.
So Coach Yanity just checked in, said he's still relaying messages from his phone. Guys checking in, making sure that he's all right.
All right.
That he's not here. But Doug Horn, Scott Hudson, I mean, all those guys from back in the big teams that Fred Yanity was the head coach for the Richland Rams many years ago.
Yeah, we certainly miss Freddie, for sure.
Keep sending me the messages, Fred. I'll keep reading them.
Yeah, he wants to know what the score of the Homer Center game is, too. So if you get a chance, he sent me a text and wanted to know what the score was of Homer Center.
He's got a computer in front of him. He'll be able to figure it out.
Well, I'm not sure if Ray knows how to work that computer that's in front of him. He has hard enough time with the phone sometimes.
If you can't find it, hit it on the side real hard a few times. Fred.
They put 1:45 back on the clock. I guess it wasn't ready to quite start the game. So
apparently both these teams know it's the first day of archery season tomorrow as well, and they're worried about PJ.
You know, PJ's dying.
You're in whitetail country up here.
Yeah.
You know.
So what time are you heading out to the tree stand tomorrow, PJ?
I will be in that tree stand at 6 a.m. It's about 45 minutes before the sun will come up. It's going to be a little frosty.
It's going to be a little frosty tomorrow.
But it's
stay
maybe
warm.
the deer will have to get up and move around to stay warm a little.
All right, well, you're over there. Any chatter on the Rams sideline? Are the guys ready to
these
finish
guys,
this out?
yeah, these guys are ready, without a doubt. I was talking to our junior high head football coach, Chris Mangus, and Coach Slavich, and we were talking about these lights, and they asked me what we thought about them, and I told them our thoughts in the beginning, your observation, Jim, about the abyss in the back of the end zones, and they were sort of keying in on the same things we were talking about with Graydon Lewis losing that ball in the lights and then the punt. So that's their only down play, and all these guys are up, and but they're working hard. The coaches are still making adjustments and moving some things around. So I think we're going to get that clock rolling soon.
All right, here we go. So it'll be Brett Harrison who will kick it away. Again, deep for the Rams are Griffin LaRue and Graydon Lewis. As there's still about 16 seconds on the clock.
I should say,
kickoff.
I do think the field's well lit. There's no natural light from anywhere around here. It's a very, very dark background, and I certainly noticed that some of the guys that play travel basketball, when you play in bigger venues that have 5 or 6 gyms and the depth perception gets off in those corner shots, it just looks further out. There's nothing to contrast it to, and that not much you can do about that. Beautiful field during the day, the rolling hills in the background.
It's gorgeous here.
Good looking facility. Again, I will tell you, I think Cambria Heights has done very well by their students here.
All right, so on to start the second half now. Harrison for Cambria Heights. And there's the kick. It's a good low kick. As it bounces about the 20. Picked up at the 10-yard line by Graydon Lewis as he takes it to the 20. Turns the corner, 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, to about the 42-yard line. Nice return by Graydon Lewis as he picked it up around the 10-yard line, able to get to about the 42.
From the 10-yard line all the way up to the 40.
All right, so the Ram offense comes out, and you're still one of the challenges for Coach Bailey right now is keeping these guys focused. They need to approach this game as it's a 6-0 ball game and run their offense and execute.
All right, so Stahl will go into the gun, 1st and 10 from they'll spot the ball at the 40. So Richland starts at their own 40-yard line. Just underway here in the second half. Richland leading 31-0. Stahl
Drops back to throw. Stahl looking, throws over the middle, has a man just off the hands of Ryan McGowan as he came across midfield, and I think Kellen took a pretty good shot as he delivered that football.
Ryan McGowan falls incomplete.
It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Number 14, Cody Schreier on the coverage that time.
Good coverage on the play.
2nd and 10.
One of the things, Kellen Stahl throws a hard ball. You've got to catch it with your hands. If you let that ball get into your body, and if you look at the lighting, you see a little mist floating out there. It's a damp night in the air. The ball's going to squirt through your arms if you let it get to your body.
All right, Stahl back into the gun. 2nd and 10. Stahl, quick throw this time to LaRue over the 45. LaRue makes a side move, gets to the 50, the 45, and they'll take it to about the 40-yard line of Cambria Heights. So a nice pickup on a short throw. Stahl to LaRue.
That's one of the nice things I think that's gone on here tonight and will really serve Richland well down the road. In the first 2 games, maybe in the first 3, primarily when the ball was thrown to LaRue, it was that deep 25, 30-yard pattern straight down the field. Giving him a chance to work into some soft spaces and do something with his legs after the catch is really to Richland's advantage and opens up a number of things.
All right, 1st and 10. Stahl again, a quick throw again. LaRue. LaRue has it at about the 35-yard line before he's tackled. Maybe they'll give him the 36, it looks like, so about a 4-yard pickup.
The other thing it does, this defensive back's going to have to start cheating up on Griff LaRue, and then Griff is going to run by.
2nd and 6 upcoming for the Rams as Braden Lewis will set himself to Stahl's left. And Stahl looking to throw again as he drops back.
Deep.
He's going to look deep. He's got a wide man, open man. That's Sam Penna for a touchdown.
Sam Penna giving a shout out to his Bubba and grandfather at home.
There you go, 36-yard strike. Stahl to Penna, who was wide open into the end zone.
I tell you, I don't know that was the design play. He broke off his route. Stahl rolled out, did not throw the ball away. And then Sam broke deep, and Stahl saw that Sam had gotten behind the coverage, and the defensive backs had lost him. So a long toss. That's a 44-yard touchdown score. Stahl to Penna.
Into attempt the extra point.
Now, I will say, this sideline with the scoreboard down here, closer to the field, it seems a little less dark.
All right, Cohen O'Dowd now will be on to kick. And Cohen O'Dowd puts this up, and Cohen O'Dowd puts it through. And now we just made PJ very, very happy. We're into the running clock. So, PJ, maybe you can get in that tree stand or get some sleep before you head into that tree stand.
That's all I need to do. We got a running clock now, so hold on. I gotta talk to somebody down here.
I'm gonna point out that Sam has managed to be in on a touchdown 3 weeks in a row.
It's fantastic. Yep.
He threw the double pass was 1 and then 2 receptions. This touchdown pass looked a lot like the one at the end of the first half against Bishop McCourt. The play rolled to one side. I don't think the first read wasn't there, and reacting to what the defense did, Sam broke free. Stahl saw it, and the more that Kellen Stahl gets a feel for his receivers and what they do individually, and I'm not just talking about Sam here. What Braden Lewis does when he's out in the flat, what happens when Griff LaRue runs a curl, what his propensity is. Last year he had a great rhythm with Caleb Burke, and you can say that anybody would have a great rhythm with Caleb Burke, and to a certain degree that's true, but there was a certain faith there, and he knew that if they got 15 yards downfield and Caleb was dead even with his man, Caleb won.
Was going to win that.
Caleb had already won, and so he knew he could let it go. Once he starts to get a feel for that, in the next case, he's rolling out and his play's not there. 2 weeks in a row now, he's made a read where Sam broke deep, and once you start getting that feel for all your receivers, there's a lot of weapons, the better it is for the offense overall.
All right, O'Dowd on to kick it away, and the ball bounces at about the 20-yard line off the foot of Tribus as he picks it up and goes over to about the 28-yard line or so, where they'll take over 1st and 10. So another good little place punt or little kick by Colin O'Dowd as he puts it able to land it at the feet of the Cambria Heights players, and they have to pick it up and scoop it off the turf.
Well, that'll put Stahl over the 200-yard mark by my count. Again, these are unofficial numbers. We're just kind of doing it on the fly to give us a feel for what's going on. But when you've only thrown 9 passes and you're over 200 yards, you've got a good average.
All right, so 10:09 remaining in the third quarter. The Cambria Heights trails Richland 38-0. Bear will go under center. And Bear will pitch it out to the left side, as that is Height. And he'll pick up a couple of yards. So Bryce Batchy on the stop as the ball is spotted at about the 35-yard line. Bring up 2nd and 5. Down 38-0, and Cambria Heights in no hurry, Jim, to get a play in. It seems like.
Well, at this point, if you're Cambria Heights, what you want to do is you want to make sure whatever you're doing out there, you're doing it right. So you still want to be competitive in the ball game, but you want your guys to have good habits.
All right, so Bear back under center, and Bear will hand off to I believe that's going to be that is Haluska. And Haluska will take it to about the 37-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
Now, I will tell you, we've been giving these shout-outs all night. There's no concession stand, and I was thirsty. I want to thank the Cambria Heights cheerleading advisor who supplied a apple juice a Capri Sun pouch at my request. They actually gave us 2. So I did not catch her name, but she was kind enough to give us apple juice.
All right, Connor Rager's brother just texted me and wants to thank us for shouting out. He's out in the Middle East, so glad you were listening for sure. And a little pitch out at his Height as he tries the right side before he's brought down. That'll be short of a first down from our angle up here, Jim. We'll see where they spot that.
Sam Penham made the tackle. Paid a little bit of a price for that one. Let the guy get into his chest. But it did a good job of coming up, closing that off, and getting the arms wrapped.
It's going to bring about a 4th and about 1, it looks like. And with Cambria Heights trailing 38-0 and 7:53 on a running clock here in the 3rd quarter, you got to believe Cambria Heights is going to go for this, and they will. And will keep it himself as he tries the left side. And he is brought out of bounds there by Graydon Lewis.
Griff LaRue and Graydon Lewis
and
on that play.
Tries to their number
Evan
was
McCracken,
Bryce Batchy.
Yeah, they're McCracken, Batchy, Lewis, LaRue ended up with his arms wrapped around his waist and tossed him out of bounds, but there are 3 other white jerseys applying pressure on that. And he did a good job of trying to get around the corner. All that work, and it nets him maybe 2, maybe 3 yards on there.
All right, so 2nd and 7 coming up. They'll give him 3 yards on that. Ball comes out to about the 44-yard line. Cambria Heights is looking to get something positive going here as they trail 38-0. Fox will go in motion. They'll pitch to him on the right, and he'll string that out to the right side. This is the play that worked earlier, Jim. As you said, Richland did a great job of adjusting because that did work a couple of times early on in the ball game, and now Richland just stringing it out and really held to no gain.
Well, one of the things Cambria Heights is going to have to work on with that play, there have been a couple of times when Fox goes in motion hard like that, but he's past the quarterback before the snap happens, and you can get the read. He's not going to get the ball at that point. And so at that point, defensively, you're no longer worried about him. Now, unless they have another wrinkle in their offense where he eventually gets a little screen. So some of that is the timing of it. In that case, the snap happened. He was even or just short of the quarterback, and so that was an option for him. But there's no way, as hard as he's running, that if he makes it past the quarterback and the snap hasn't happened, he's not getting that pitch.
All right, so a timeout here called by Cambria Heights. 5:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Richland leading 38-0.
Where did PJ go? He said he had to go talk to somebody. He's making hunting arrangements already?
I am. I was just talking to
He's
my
talking
boy,
to Jaden Kinsey.
Jaden Kinsey about doing some hunting. So also, telling Jordan, let's keep your eyes on the ball game, see what's going on. I believe he's going to get in there, and there are a lot of other kids are going to get in here in a little while. But, hey, getting back to, we were talking about all the young guns. We can't say enough also, the reason why these guys get to perform so well is this veteran line that they're playing behind. Our line is second to none in this Laurel Highlands and maybe the state in Class 2 ball. But just great group of guys. Look how much bigger our line is, too. I mean, we tower over in height, this Cambria Heights line.
It's a nice advantage to have, and really in a matchup like this, PJ, where a team was going to come out and they're 3 yards in a cloud of dust, or 4 yards in a cloud of dust, being able to win that first yard of real estate was a key early on.
All right, 3rd and 7 upcoming for Cambria Heights as Bear under center. Bear drops back to throw. He'll throw it up over the middle, and he will throw it over the head of everyone. A lot of Rams in coverage, 4 Rams in coverage. Did a nice job, and Bear just overthrew everyone, so incomplete. Bring up 4th and 7. And I think, not sure, the punting team was coming on. I think they called the punter back.
I don't think that counts as a fake punt, running the punter out.
No, the
5
punter
yards,
was
running
coming
it
out,
back.
and they brought him back to the sideline. So at 4th and 7, they're going to go for it. And probably a good play. They're down 38-0. We're at 4:55 and counting with the running clock. And Bear will drop back into the shotgun this time.
I can't believe there's still 24 seconds on the play clock. This feels like this has taken forever already.
Yeah, it's a pretty long time. And again, there is no hurry on the Cambria Heights to get the playoff. And Bear will drop back to throw, drop straight back. He throws out to the right side, puts a high ball up, and it's going to be thrown out of bounds. In coverage there, I think, was Sam Penna. Good job.
Sam actually caught that.
Yeah, stride for
Say it was
stride,
out of
just out of
bounds.
bounds. Yeah,
Good
nice
coverage.
play by Sammy. And that'll be a turnover on downs as the Rams will take over now from the Cambria Heights 44-yard line.
I guarantee you in the ride home tonight, he's going to insist to me he was in bounds. I need somebody to double check
Well,
that for me,
PJ's down there.
PJ, was
I don't
he
know
in
if
bounds
PJ
or
was
not?
looking, but was Sam in bounds?
Was Sam in bounce on that play right there?
Yeah.
No, sir.
No.
No.
So there you go.
He's
So
going to
it's
insist.
confirmation
He's going to
because
insist he
Sammy,
was,
yeah,
PJ.
so.
All right. Stahl still in at quarterback.
Yep, he'll stay in the gun.
We got a new running back there, don't we, though?
I think that is Evan McCracken
Evan.
in at running back. McCracken now will go to the right of Stahl. Stahl will fake the pitch and throw it, and think that's DeMont Johnson.
It is DeMont.
On the catch, and he'll take it to the 35-yard line. So a quick strike from Kellen Stahl to DeMont Johnson.
I got to be honest, that pass play only to Jordan Ford is something I thought we'd see coming into the ballgame. We never needed it. It never materialized. But so you're doing two things now. One, you're working on your offense. You want to keep everybody involved. Number two, you're sending a message of the tape. In a way, while you don't want to show all your cards, other teams have to prepare for anything you're doing. And if you're showing some things right now, more practice time that gets eaten up with more of the wrinkles you can put out there offensively.
All right, Stahl. Again, fakes it, throws it out to LaRue on the sideline. LaRue's got the 35, the 30. He makes a move and gets to about the 25 before he takes a big hit as he got over the 25-yard line to about the 24. He took a pretty good shot there.
I was a little enthusiastic with that arm.
But a first down for Richland. And another shout out to Kellen's Aunt Morgan, who just got home from work. So we want to say hi to her. Aunt Morgan, so glad you're listening. Glad to have you along. Kellen's having another fantastic game here. We lead 38-0. Evan McCracken gets the handoff and tries over the left tackle there, and will push his way to about, looks like the 19-yard line.
That play just didn't want to end. Scrum of players kept going, and Evan McCracken kept grinding. And it looked like it was going to go for a yard or two. It ended up going for closer to 6.
He's a big, he runs hard, Evan.
So, look, we're talking about the young guns. You got Evan McCracken in the backfield as a freshman. Flanked out far left is Sam Penna, who's a sophomore, a day younger than Evan McCracken. Ryan McGround is flanked out to the left, also a sophomore. Who else we got on the
Jeb
right?
Jordan, who's a junior, and you have Griff LaRue, who's a junior, out to the right. And it'll be Ryan McGowan in motion. They'll fake to him and hand off to McCracken, and he will probably lose a yard. And that'll bring up third down. So a little fake pitch to Ryan McGowan, quick draw to Evan McCracken, but actually loses a couple of yards. Let's see where they spot. No, they put it at the 20-yard line. So loss of 1. 3rd and 6 upcoming for the Rams. They're at the Cambria Heights 20.
Well, probably 2-down territory for the Rams.
All right, Stahl goes back to throw, throws it out to the left, has a man going up high, and it's incomplete.
Oh, I tell you.
That was Ryan McGowan.
He got his paws on that one. Coverage all over him there. Good job. I guess the ball popped out as he was going down to the ground as the defender kept cranking away. And PJ, how'd that ball popped out? It looked like Ryan did a good job going up and picking that one out of the air.
Yeah, he got defended coming down, so he just didn't hold on to it.
So ball knocked out on the way down. We got a 4th and 6 upcoming. The clock is ticking 55 seconds before the end of the 3rd quarter. And Graydon Lewis now will be the running back as he'll go to Stahl's right.
Watch forward.
Stahl will hand off to Graydon Lewis. He'll go up the middle. Graydon Lewis makes a spin move as he gets inside the 10-yard line to about the 9. That'll be a first down for the Richland Rams. They'll bring up 1st and goal.
Yeah, that looks straight out of the Madden Xbox spin move.
Absolutely.
For Graydon Lewis.
We're at 26 seconds and counting. Richland will see if they run another play, which I'm sure they will. They lead 38-0 here late in the 3rd quarter. Stahl hands off to Lewis again, who goes up the middle again, and Graydon Lewis will just get into the end zone. A 9-yard run, Graydon Lewis. Another Richland Ram touchdown.
What we can do. And PJ, I think that reinforces what you were saying about that Bedford game. That with as many young contributors as we have, where this offense is sort of finding its way, what wrinkles work for it, and you're seeing more of that here tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. You're throwing in all these sophomores. Most of them didn't start a game in their freshman year. They didn't get much field time towards the end of the year. We're going into the playoffs, so they were a little rusty coming in on a camp. We really didn't have a camp with COVID. So, again, if we would have had a week or two to sort of roll into it, I think that would have been a different game. I mean, obviously you cannot take away the loss of Jake Sable or Alan Magus, two big contributors, our 2 top tacklers going into the game. So, again, these kids have grown up, learned a whole lot, and they're going to show big things in the years, but this experience they're getting right now is you can't put a price tag on that.
Absolutely.
New kicker in the game, guys. Take it away.
Jaden Kinsey coming on to kick it away. Jaden is a senior this year, and on to kick. And back deep for Cambria Heights, I think, are still going to be Jared Fox. And a little pooch kick picked up by one of the upmen from Cambria Heights and down at about the 41-yard line. One last quick shout out here. I got from Connor Rager from all his older brothers, Nicholas, Brandon, and Zachary, and they want to put the moniker that they taught Connor very, very well, with a big smiley face. So
I tell you, you're up on your kickoff return team. So often the coach, usually when a ball ends up in front of somebody in the first 2 waves of the kickoff return team, it's a squib kick or a bouncing ball, and they hammer home, fall on the ball, fall on the ball, fall on the ball. But they just assume that you understand that if you catch a line drive clean, go ahead and run forward.
Yeah.
So the the return man for Cambria Heights just now caught the ball, had no defender 8 yards near him at that point because it was a hard line drive kick, and rather simply took the knee.
Yep.
And it's one of those things when you're coaching young people, and I'm sorry I did not get the number of that, but I'm going to guess it was an underclassman. You have to remind yourself sometimes they take you literally, so a coachable moment there for Cambria Heights, that when you catch a ball that clean, that quickly, look, even if you head to the sideline and try to get 5 or 6, you get the ball past midfield. But he had room to run before anybody was going to get near him. And again, when the ball is that close to from where it was kicked, you don't have the entire kick team coming on. You probably only have 1 or 2 men that you have to beat or get one block where you can turn it into a bigger play. So a small missed opportunity there. All right, Cambria Heights is going to come out. We'll see if they're going to toss it around a little bit more.
Yeah, they'll keep their starters on the field as Richland has gone with the JV team, it appears. And a quick shout out again, just real quick, Megan Stahl-Skinner, who's Kellen's mom, sent me one, and she wants to put a shout out to Kellen's pappy, who has not been feeling well, but is Kellen's biggest fan. So like to welcome him. Hope he's feeling better. All right, Easton Robertson will be the safety. Ryan Bear will go under center, and he'll hand this one off up the middle, and that is number 2, Tanner Height. Tony DiMartino able to grab him by the feet and make the stop.
Looked for a second as if he lost control of the ball. You guard that with both hands going in through the line. When he broke the open field, somebody got a hand on it there, and if nothing else, he felt insecure about it. So,
yeah, Tony, my son did a nice job there. If it wasn't for, I think, if he doesn't make the tackle there, that's going to be pay dirt. So nice tackle by Tony as he went down and grabbed the foot. As his mother would say, grab the legs. You hear it every JV game. And he did just that, so maybe he'll get dinner tonight.
I believe I have a video here of your wife screaming, grab that.
All right, so a big pickup there by Cambria Heights as they move the ball to the Richland 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Another hand up off the middle to Height, and this time the Richland line does a good job, and he may pick up about 3 yards to about the 39-yard line. Running clock again, 10:35 and counting. Richland leading 44-0 here at Highlander Field. It's Eli Fresh who was on the stop, number 59. Second and 7 upcoming for the Highlanders. So the first team for Cambria Heights still in the ball game as Ryan Bear will go under center again. It'll be Fox in motion. They'll go ahead and pitch it to the right side again. And he'll be able to get the sideline a little bit before it's being pushed out of bounds.
Well, that's a string out play that they wanted to run into.
Jared Fox will take that ball to about, let's see where they spot this. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. So pick up 5.
Sam Penna had a crack at him in the backfield. Couldn't quite get enough of the leg, not to slow him down, but not enough to bring him down.
So 3rd and 2 upcoming for Cambria Heights. We're in a running clock with 9:23 now. Bear takes the snap and will hand off the right side again, and almost lost the ball. Xavier Manahan able to grab and bring down the runner, but I think he got control of the ball again before it came out.
It's out. I think the Rams got it.
So he did lose the ball. Yeah, Richland gets the ball. Not sure who picked it up for the Rams. So Tony DiMartino, number 45, able to jump on the ball, it sounds like.
Yes, I believe he got it. He juggled it off the handoff. Still had it batted around between both hands. As he got tackled, he was trolling. He was still fighting to get the ball, and as he went down, the ball went one way, and he went the other. And sort of an illusion for the eyes for a lot of defenders on the play because they were following the ball carrier, or the ball juggler in this case. The ball went the other way, and good job by DiMartino to hop on it and get possession for the Rams. So a big stop there. I'm sure that group will take a lot of pride. I know they didn't like giving up a late touchdown against Bishop McCourt as against their varsity squad. Late in that ball game.
I will tell you, though, Jim.
Yes.
I have it on good authority that on that play, there was actually 3 offensive linemen that were well downfield. But at that point of the game, the flag was not going to be thrown. And So if that gives the JV any solace, it was actually a penalty that would have been called under normal circumstances.
That gives them no solace. There's no
So-
solace in that.
We're at 9:01. We have timeout on the field.
PG, I can't help but notice there's been like a singular fan sitting in the side in the stands behind the Richland bench.
I believe that's our famed athletic director, Bonnie Kidd.
Oh,
waving at her right now.
fantastic.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's
sure.
Hi,
Right,
Bonnie.
right,
We're
right.
going to wait from her from
I'll
the
let her
booth,
know
too,
you guys
so-
noticed, all right?
Yeah, fantastic.
Is she waving too? Is she actually doing
She-
the one-man
she's
wave?
waving.
She's doing the one-man wave.
She's social media for Richland. She could be fighting some legislative fights right now to get our fans back in here. I know she's been all the ADs in the Lower Highlands have been meeting. So
Sam Penna back to throw. Finds Jeb Jordan on the sideline at about the 40-yard line. Oh, as he fumbled. The ball may have been fumbled back to Cambria Heights. Jeb Jordan caught the ball on the sideline, and it is a turnover as Cambria Heights now will take over.
Well, I didn't have any with the Cambria Heights bench all standing right there. No vision of what happened.
Yeah, very hard to see.
Looked like he was down, but the referee was right there. Obviously, the benefit of the doubt that he saw it clearly. So, ball back to them. So, turnovers on back-to-back plays here. We're going for the trifecta.
All right, 44-0 your score. 8:20 and counting here in the fourth quarter. And it will be a new quarterback on for Cambria Heights, as that is number 12, Ty Stockley. And he'll go under center. Stockley will keep it himself over the right side. And he will pick up a couple yards before being grabbed by Sam Penna, and then a host of other Richland players he's brought down.
Well, Sam took the opportunity when he was surrounded there to try to yank the ball out of his hands. Did not get it, and so the rest of the defensive line finished off that play.
I saw Eli Fresh, number 59, number 45, Tony DiMartino, number 36, Xavier Manahan, number 55, Caleb Gezzi, all around the football along with Sam. A pickup of 6, a 2nd and 4 upcoming. The ball is spotted at about the Richland 30-yard line.
So again, I'm going to tell you that the play clock is at 40 seconds.
And not moving, and Stockley still under center. And Stockley will hand off to Haluska as he'll go over to left guard and get to about the 25-yard line. And probably enough for a first down. So we're at 6:58 and counting. Before the end of the ball game, Richland leading here 44-0.
PJ was mentioning a legislative fight for Bonnie Kidd. Former state representative Gary Haluska, that's his grandson, is the main ball carrier for the Cambria Heights Highlanders. He's also the PA announcer for the Highlanders here. So he's been doing the work on the loudspeakers for the Highlanders, enjoying his retirement from legislative life.
All right, Stockley will roll out to the left and keep it himself as he pushes over the 15-yard line. Nice run by Stockley as he followed his line and gets pushed from behind and able to get to about the 15-yard line. Maybe the fort looks like the about the 14. Another Cambria Heights first down. So Cambria Heights looking for their first score of the ball game. We're at 6 minutes and counting before the end of the ball game.
I'm going to point again. 40-second shot clock, not relevant.
Yeah, they're not running the play clock here. Stockley will go under center. And it'll be a handoff over the right side. The Richland line does a pretty good job, but it's like the runner able to get to about the 11-yard line. I'll give him the 10.
This looks much more like the rugby scrum kind of thing that we thought we'd see coming in from the varsity, from the starters in this game. And they elected to try to go in the air a little bit early on.
Eli Fresh getting credited with the stop. 2nd and 6 now from the 10-yard line. 5:11 and counting here.
Now, I know you've mentioned our sponsors a couple times tonight, but we are encouraging anybody that can be supportive of these broadcasts. This has essentially become the ticket to Ram football.
Absolutely.
And I know the players and all the coaches that dedicate their time. I certainly appreciate any support that anybody's willing to be on that end of it.
Yeah, Stockley able to keep it himself again as he gets inside the 5-yard line to about the 4.
PJ, if somebody wants to be a sponsor of the Rams broadcast network, you're the man to track down, right?
Yeah, that's correct. They can reach out to Richland Football via any of our avenues and social media, or they can stop by Precious Metals and Diamond Company, and we'll get them signed up. And it's a great deal. It's inexpensive, especially the home games. You get announced on our Jim, whenever you're doing our home games, you announce them multiple times. They're announced in the live stream and also on our scoreboard throughout the night.
All right, so first and goal coming from the 3-yard line now for Cambria Heights. Stockley will keep it himself again, goes over right and goes into the end zone. So Cambria Heights is on the board as Ty Stockley able to go from 3 yards out. This makes it a 44-6 ball game pending the extra point. And it will be Brett Harrison on to attempt the extra point.
Well, the last time he attempted to kick something between those 2 yellow pipes, it got blocked and returned 60-some yards for a score.
Right. Kind of a high snap, but the hold was good and the kick is good.
That might be one of the best catches of the night. The placeholder
absolutely.
had to reach up well behind his head to pull that in.
So 44-7, your score of 4:04 remaining in the ball game. And we're going to go ahead and mention those sponsors again as they do a fantastic job. We can't thank them enough again. So Precious Metals and Diamond Company, Chan Soon Shong Medical Center, Best Window and Door, Blade Broadband, Rizzo's Italian Restaurant, The Fifth Bar and Grill, which is formerly The Alibi, Wayne Langer Hulk for Senate, Advanced Office Systems, Dean Jordan Goodyear, Ponchione Financial, Cardellino Eye Care and Optical, EcoSafe Sanitizing, Nico's Restaurant, Johnstown Construction, FWF Insurance and Erie Insurance, Pinnacle Chiropractic Spine and Sports Center, Flair Country Catering and Event Planning, Sporting Good Discounters, FX Screen Printing, DB Homes, and Slovenian Savings and Loan. And thanks to Nico's last night for they hosted the Rams on their for their Thursday meal. So I want to thank Dave at Nico's. My son said it was fantastic, so thanks, Dave, for doing that.
And let's give a little update on the Laurel Highlands. Great game over in Evansburg. Central Cambria 28, Penn Cambria 21. We're going to jump down to Bishop McCourt to the Point Stadium. Somerset 8, Bishop McCourt 7 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that's a tight one. That's a couple of tight games there. That's fantastic.
PJ,
right.
That Westmont game still hasn't started, right? That's still tomorrow?
Still 0-0. Yeah. I'm going to stay up and monitor that game all night. I'll keep you updated with text so I don't wake you.
All right, Harrison on to kick it away. And the kick is away. It will be number 13, Aiden McMahon, able to pick it up. Gets to the 20-yard line to 25 before he's pushed back. So Aiden McMahon with a nice return to about the 25-yard line. And there's a player down on the field for the Rams. And I think that might be my son, Tony DiMartino, may be down. So we will go ahead and step away as they tend to the players. We'll go ahead and take a little break. Your score here, 44-7, as you listen to the Richland Ram Football Network. He might have just got the wind knocked out of him. As long as he didn't mess his shoulder up again.
No,
He's not doing this, which is good.
Right. Well, he walked off on his own. So
I just hope he's moving that shoulder a little bit.
All right. We're back at it, and it was Tony DiMartino. The good news there, Dad, he walked off under his own strength, and the trainer's looking at it. PJ's going to get us word. The Rams with ball. Sam Patton, the quarterback, shotgun formation, trips left, single wide out right.
All right, first 10 from the 27-yard line. Penny will hand us off to Xavier Manahan, who'll go over the right side. Xavier Manahan takes it over the 35-yard line to about the 36. So Manahan, a nice run. 3:16 and counting here in the ball game. Richland leading 44-7.
Window's starting to frost up in the press box.
All right, Sam Panna back under the gun. And he will hand off to Manahan again. Manahan will traipse his way over the 40 as he gets to about the 43-yard line. So Xavier Manahan, another nice pickup.
That's all that hot air in there, Jim, the cold air out here.
That could be it,
That's
PJ.
how it works, yep. That's a science thing. You guys, math lesson a few weeks ago, science tonight.
Yeah, I like the science, not so much the math. I was a science guy and a biology guy, but yeah, math, no. All right, 2:34 and counting in the ball game. Penna hands off to Jaden Kinsey, who goes over the right side. Kinsey hit as he got right back to about the line of scrimmage, so it should be about a no gain.
Well, I tell you, it's no gain, but I will tell you this. Hitting Jordan Kinsey is like running into a fire hydrant. it is a compact pile of metal that is impervious to the idea that you think you're going to hit it. So I'm sure an enthusiastic ball carrier there.
Easton Robertson now will check in as the running back. He'll set himself to Penna's right. 2nd and 9 from the Richland 44-yard line. Richland leading here 44-7 with 1:54 and counting. Easton Robertson goes up the middle. Easton Robertson picking his way over the 45-yard line. Dropped at about the 43. So nice run by Easton Robertson, gets a first down.
Well, let's give some credit to this second wave of Richland linemen that are out there right now. We talked about the guys and the difference they made for our starters out there, but it's obvious what the Rams are going to do at this point, and they're still able to do it at this point. So hats off to those linemen that are out there making it happen.
All right, 1st and 10. They're in Cambria Heights territory at the 43-yard line. Penna will take the snap, bobbles a little bit, keeps it himself as he goes up the middle and gets close to the 40-yard line.
So, hey, getting back to the Laurel Highlands, that is a final down at the point. Somerset 8, Bishop McCourt 6. Penn Cambria has come back to go in the lead 29-28 late in the 4th quarter over in Evansburg. Great game there.
Fantastic football game. All right, we're at 52 seconds and counting. 2nd and 9 for the Rams at the Cambria Heights 41. Penna, quick throw out to DeMont Johnson. And DeMont Johnson will take it to about the 39-yard line.
So, if I'm recalling correctly, right, this Cambria High teams beat Penn Cambria, but lost to Central Cambria.
Yes. Yes, Cambria Heights beat Penn Cambria 21-0 last week. All right, 18 seconds and counting here in the ball game. 3rd and 9 for the Rams. And Penna will hand this off to Easton Robertson, who will go over to the 30-yard line. And that should be another first down by the Rams. So good hard running by Easton Robertson, a freshman.
That's going to be enough to call it a game.
But that will be the ball game as your final here. The Rams 44, the Cambria Heights Highlanders 7. We'll be back with you shortly for a little bit of post game as you're listening to the Richland Rams Football Network. All right, and we're back here as the Rams are huddling up and having discussion with the coaches. Your final here, Richland 44, the Cambria Heights Highlanders 7. This game never in doubt from the outset.
They could have just gone out and played it close to the vest and try to make it a 12-6 ball game. It wasn't going to work out that way. I really think the biggest thing that happened tonight was something that didn't happen at all, is that you didn't see Richland having to lean on that Kellen stall, quarterback draw, quarterback off tackle, the running. It's still there. It's still a weapon to have, but the fact that you're able to spread the ball around and get offense and not have to rely on that and still have it in your pocket if you need it, I think it's a big thing for the Rams.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm here with Coach Bailey. Coach
fantastic.
Bailey, great game tonight. All your players, you guys came out. We're firing on all cylinders right from the get-go. Take us through the first half and the second half on your own words.
Yeah, we just talked before the game of adversity and all the things that our kids have had to deal with in terms of playing without their friends around and without their families, and it's tough on everybody. And we just said that we can't control that. Let's come out and have fun, execute our game, and the kids did that. I was really proud of how they responded here today.
Yeah, we were talking through the game. You know, your veteran line, obviously, they were dominant from the very first snap of the ball. We've been calling them the young guns. Your juniors, your sophomores and your freshmen that make up a lot of your skill players. They came out playing real well. So all around great effort. Tell me about your defense and how your defense was able to stop the Cambria Heights in their tracks.
Yeah, I mean, our D's played great over the last couple of years, and it starts with the front line. I mean, if you can't block those guys, you're going to have a problem. And our defensive line, we've got a lot of guys that play, and they all do a great job. They keep people off the linebackers, and then we have good skilled kids behind them.
So another great performance. Where do we go next week, Coach?
We are coming back home for our final regular season game against the Penn Cambria Panthers, because the playoffs will start on the 23rd of October.
Well, they were in a little bit of a firefight tonight over in Penn Cambria, or Central Cambria. Central Cambria is winning 21-0. Right now, late in the fourth, it's 29-28 Penn Cambria. So great game over there. But you know, we're up here in Cambria Heights. We're real close to Prince Glitzen State Park. There's a hidden treasure up here, and I'm thinking maybe whenever you were an elementary student, you could have taken a field trip. Have you ever been to the seldom seen coal mine?
Well, I haven't, but I watched the Goonies when I was a kid, and I really like treasure hunts and stuff like that.
I could see, like, you know, I've never really been in your bedroom, but I could imagine right beside the wedding photo, there's one of those little tiny pool cars with, 1983 or something like that written on it, 89, I don't know. But anyways, you know, you should, if you got time after the game, stop over, maybe take the team. So, hey, another great job. Thanks for having us. By the way, he was the brain trust, Coach Bailey here of the Richland Football Network. We've had listeners all over the state, all over the country, people chiming in like regular. So, fantastic idea. We're glad to be a part of it, and great job on that. And I think all the fans, especially during this COVID pandemic, are really thankful that you had this idea and gave us all the opportunity to participate in it.
Yeah, it's so great for our community and allow people to see see these kids play because they're so talented. And thanks to RMG and Jared Romsberg because they've been doing a great job getting these broadcasts.
I hope I didn't overstep tonight. I told Jared I think you might have a full-time job every year because I think he is the beating heart of the Richland Rams Football Network, and this is going to be the future of the broadcast, I think, right?
That is the goal, yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, Jared, you heard it right from the horse's mouth, so back to you guys up there, Coach. Good job. We'll see you next week.
Hi, thanks, PJ. As usually a fantastic job down there with Coach Bailey. And again, your final here from Highlander Field, Rams lead or win 44-7 going away, which is a fantastic football game. So the playoffs are going to start. You said October 23rd.
Yes, I heard some of the coaches talking for teams that aren't making the playoffs. They'll be left scrambling trying to find other teams to finish the schedule out with. So we'll certainly more to follow up on that later on. But business was taken care of tonight in Cambria Heights. Again, hats off to the Cambria Heights School District, a beautiful facility. They've done quite well by their student athletes and their student body in making sure this got done. Looking forward to coming out here many years to come.
All right. Well, we're going to and wrap it up. So, Jim, can't thank you enough. Fantastic job.
The inaugural one for me.
As you said, nobody can replace
I'm no Fred Kennedy.
But fantastic job. I'm so glad you could join us. Hope you had a great time. You did a fantastic job. As always, to PJ McGowan, who is the Emmy award-winning sideline reporter and interviewer.
And that's right. To my wife, Elizabeth, PJ's my ride home. Don't wait up.
And to my wife, Julie, and my daughter, Emily, who were
Tony's doing
here
okay
at the game, and I think Tony's doing fine. So they were checking out his shoulder. I believe he's
Jim,
okay.
are you going hunting with me tomorrow?
I'm just going to stand by the tree stand with you, PJ.
All right, well, I expect breakfast in the morning.
All right.
Well, thanks, everybody, for listening. Hope you can join us next week as the Rams will be at home, and they'll take on the Penn Cambria Panthers at Hurlinger Field. So have a great night. drive safely, keep your families safe, and be safe yourselves. Thank you, and good night.